Yep, exactly.
All right, we're back. I don't know if
We're
we can
back.
hear us, but we're back. You know what? Shit happens. Shit happens, boys. What are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you guys can hear us. Can you go on and see if you can hear us? Make sure the live is up. We're back live again. Round 2. Let me go here real quick. Sorry, boys. Where's my dashboard? Is anybody in here? Can you hear us? Mic check.
Hello. Mic check.
Can you hear Ben?
Hello, Daddy. Hey, Daddy.
Ben, can you talk?
Hello. Testing. Hello.
Your mic's not working. Mic's not working. I don't know why. Let me see. Hold on. Test. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Let's go. Let's just go.
All right. We're back live.
Whatever. We fucked up. Here's the thing. You fucking live and you learn, all right? Like I said, we put this together 2 weeks ago. So if you don't like it, suck it. All right. We're here. E-Man from Pole Wax, J-Fest from Pole Wax. We already interviewed him for a little bit. Let's get back into it. I fucking love your shit. I love both you guys. You guys have a dynamic duo. I think everybody, listen, if you guys weren't on Pole Wax, I think you guys would lose half your following. I truly believe that. Because I know you other guys are strong, but like your dynamic duo brings in a lot of people. And I'm sure a lot of guys only break when you're breaking or when you're breaking. And when you guys are together, I think you guys probably bring more people to the table. I tell this to people all the time. People try to say, you need to hire more breakers. You need to, and I go, when I'm not on the live, there's a lot of people that won't fucking spend money. It doesn't matter who's behind the camera. They go to Daddy Rips because of me. So, and I think you guys have really propped yourself up, and Mikey along has helped you guys to go when they think of Pole Wax, they think of you guys. So talk about where did your guys' relationship start?
Yeah. So here,
Yeah. I was working at Pole Wax before Justin. But where we started, so I was doing the night lives and I was just going forever. And it was basically a matter of I couldn't sell because I was tired. I'd get off. It was like people were buying all night. I just need somebody to stay up and just sleeve and top load for me all night. And then we brought in Justin, and I thought he was the biggest reefer you've ever met. I thought he was the dumbest guy ever. He's talking about sports betting and all this, which is perfect, which is like 100%, like exactly what we want. But I thought he was like the most reef guy on the first day. And we honestly clicked, like, I think within the very first week. And he just was with me every single night for a year straight, every night, all night. And I think that's what makes him such a good breaker is so many people push for him to be like, oh, you got to get Justin to break. You got to get Justin to break. You got to get Justin to break. He was always like just on the side, but on camera. So he grew that personality being the moderator because he was on camera as well.
That is huge with the OBS system.
Yes.
Right? The camera engagement. Because a lot of people, and we won't throw them under the bus here, but a lot of people have the OBS, but they're not using it to their advantage. They're not even like engaging, or like if someone says something, they're just like, it's cool comment. Like when someone says something funny to you, you look up and you're like, yeah. You give them that look. Like when I come in the room and you're like, Daddy, it's like looking at me. So I think like you're speaking through my soul, you know? So I think that's important. Ben?
Yeah, I also think just putting the time in as a team is like super important, right? because it's repetition. It's customers coming in and knowing that you're going to be here that night, and you're not only going to be there, you're going to be there all night long. And what we do is fun. It's a privilege for me. I always say this all the time. It's a privilege that I can call this my living, and this is how I make my money. Because and the customers can see that I have a blast when I do it, and I see that when you guys rip, and I see that when you rip. Like, we are extremely lucky to do what we do for a living, call it a living, and be surrounded by customers that love what we do and appreciate us and support us. And I know this is the same with you guys too. And speak on this a little bit. I have a bunch of guys and gals in my room that would never buy a single pack from me, but they'll hang out for 2, 3, 4 hours and just hang because they love the vibe and they love the room. So speak on that.
So many guys that come in our chat just there to hang out, just there for the vibe. And like, we know who they are too. And sometimes they mention it. Oh, I just love to hang out. I don't even buy anything, but I just want to hang out here. You know what I mean? And we love that, dude. That's the best because you get to build this connection. And I talk about fishing with a lot of these guys that don't even buy anything. You know what I mean? Like, we're having these separate conversations, not even about sports cards, honestly, and just vibing and always having a good time. But I wanted to speak on something, the connection that we have also. We both eventually got so close together and worked because it was 6 nights a week for like a year. You know what I mean? So we both knew what to say, and we both knew like what the deal was, what we needed to get done, what we needed to do. So we had that in the back of our head. We both know that. So we leave that time, that other space in our head to, just have fun and do whatever. We know what we need to do, so we can go ahead and say whatever we want, have fun, because we know what we have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the connection is so strong, and we just have so much fun.
No, like the connection to the chat is important too. Because I'll have I have a guy come in my room, and I actually met him for the first time here at National. He comes around, he comes in, he buys a badge, and he just hangs out. But he buys a badge every single night. Just buys a badge. He goes, I can't buy into your breaks, but I can throw you $2. I can throw you $2 a night. And I'm like, dude, that's fucking cool. And I like it when I'm not ripping. Normally, how it is. When you're on Instagram, as soon as you crack that plastic, that seal, it's like the eyes come. It's like blood in the water for the sharks. Everybody comes to your room because they just want to see you rip. So your numbers will spike, and then when you're not ripping, it goes back down. Yeah. I like it when my numbers spike and they kind of stay because people are like, oh, I'm gonna fucking hang around. Like we're just at a bar, hanging out, chilling, drinking, and talking shit, but we're in a chat on IG.
It's entertainment. Entertainment and engagement is everything. Like, if they wanted to just go buy a box and rip a box, they'd go do it at their local hobby shop. Like, they do it online because it's entertaining. Not only are we breakers, we're entertaining them the entire time. So being engaging with everybody, I try to read every single comment, and I think that goes a long way. Just every single person I'm trying to engage with that comes into the chat. And you got to provide entertainment. If not, like, again, they just wouldn't. Why would they break with you? Why wouldn't they just go to the local shop?
Exactly. And I think entertainment is one of the most underrated things that people don't put into the price. Because listen, you can go buy a box. You can go buy a box for $150 at the local store and rip it at home like a fucking loser by yourself. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but you're ripping it by yourself. Yeah. But if you go buy it for $200 on a live and you have somebody ripping it and you have all these people rooting for you,
exactly.
boosting you up, you feel better. And then that guy's providing that entertainment the whole along the way. And you feel better. Like you just said.
Yeah, I mean, look, us as breakers, we're there to entertain you and show you a good time. I always equate it to, and some people have said they don't agree with this, but I'll still say it. Like, I consider myself a blackjack dealer. Basically, I equate it. There's similarities, right? You're putting your money on the table. You're going to win. You're going to lose. But if I show you a hell of a time while you're on my table, at least you've been entertained. If you win, you lose. If you hit a big card, awesome. I always want my customers to hit big cards, but there's a reality to this business. It's not going to happen every time. It really isn't. But if you're entertained and you have a good time and you said, you know what, I spent some money, I'm going to get something, but I had a good time. That's, for me, I've done my job.
Exactly. And then also, to piggyback off that, other things are taken into account also breaking with somebody on whatnot. Like, let's just say you're going on vacation and you need to contact us and say, hey, listen, can you just actually hold that shipment for a little bit? Like, you can't, like, if you want to buy something off eBay or whatever, like, there's no personal connection there. You know what I mean? You have such a personal connection when you're going into our lives, and we'll do anything for you. You know what I mean? Like anything. So
That's what I love coming to places like this. Like people ask me like, why don't you set up? Like one, I have fucking ADHD. I can't sit still. Like this right here, I just want to I want to get up and be animated. You know, I want to use my hands and talk. But I come here, they're like, what's your goal at National? I come here to interact and mingle with everybody who spends money with me, everybody who supports me, everybody who is backing me through the hobby. Like, hey, we love your content. Like, I come here to do that. You know, yeah, do I have cards? Yeah, I have cards. But I love the interaction and seeing somebody for the first time.
Exactly.
Like, dude,
Yes.
I've been watching you for 2 years, like first time meeting them.
Yeah.
And they light up, you know? And so I think that's a big thing for me. Like that's what I try to accomplish here.
Yeah.
You know,
I love putting the names. You know, I have to ask, what's your whatnot name? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
all I know. So, you know, once I put the names to the face.
that's the best thing too. Tip to early new breakers out there: when you have guys come in your room, create a nickname for them. Give them something. I have a guy come in my room and his name is Gary. That's his name is Gary. I didn't know that his name is Gary, but his name was Ghaas. So I was just calling him Gas, like Goss.
Right.
Hey, what's up, Goss? You know, he's like, yeah, my name is Gary, by the way. I'm like, no, you're Goss from now on. You're not Gary, you're Goss.
Goss.
When I see him here, I'm like, what's up, Goss?
Right.
Like, I try calling him Gary. I'm like, God, it sounds weird.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to call him
Yeah.
Gary. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that's important to, and when you build that fucking relationship, dude, sky's the limit.
Right.
This guy came to my Airbnb yesterday. He was ripping hobby boxes offline
Right.
and telling me, he's like, you're the fucking man. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I am the man, you know? I'm the fucking man. I'm the dude.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
you
the
know?
shit, actually. Yeah.
So I think that's important. I think what you guys are doing are great. Tell Mikey I fucking said I appreciate it. I love you guys. Tell him to come over if he wants to.
Yeah.
But and any one of the Pull Wax members, come on over, hang out. Well, I don't know how long we're gonna do this. We're finally, guys. We did 17 minutes of fucking ass. So I think we're good. I think this audio.
Also, I want to say one more thing. We
Yeah.
appreciate the respect that you have for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh,
really
yeah.
do.
That goes a long way. It's one thing to hear it from. It's one thing to hear it from like buyers. It's another thing to hear it from breakers that we watch.
Yeah.
You get me? Like I watch you as a breaker. I watch you as a breaker. Like to hear it from you guys, it's a completely different feel.
I pulled E-Man, a Kevin Durant sneaker spotlight.
Oh.
There it is. It's in his pocket.
Oh.
It's in his pocket.
Let's go.
Like 2 years ago.
That was like end of 2020. Yeah, that was a long time, and it took a long time to get the redemption.
Oh,
That is
Wow,
classic.
wow.
Well,
Oh yeah.
I was wondering what was in E-Man's pocket this whole time. It's just a sneaker spotlight. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you guys.
I'll see you guys around.
Jake Betts, love you guys. I love those guys. I can't believe he had it in his pocket.
What a professional.
I thought his pants were just stretching. All right. Well, listen. You know what? Sometimes things happen. We got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, we are live at the biggest card show in the world. It's not going to be smooth at points, but we're back. We're
Sounds
going
all
now.
good. Hey, that first 17 minutes was a waste. All right. Okay, so let's get back.
No, I love your comment. I love your comment about nicknames.
Yeah.
Right? Who doesn't love a nickname?
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with a nickname. I love Nick. I always wanted
You
a
want to
nickname.
know my nickname when growing up?
What?
It's kind of traumatizing.
Oh no.
They called me Alfred E. Newman. It was Alfred E. Newman. Dude, I was mad. They would go, either they call me Mad TV or Alfred E. Newman.
Oh my God. That's
And
hilarious.
in the beginning, yeah, it crushed my soul. But I embraced it. Like, yeah, cool. I got big ears. I got freckles. I got a wide face.
It's very Americana and old school feeling when you when you walk into a restaurant or you walk into a bar and the bartender goes, "The usual, sir," like that feeling.
Yeah.
I want that in my break room.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I want someone to come in and be like, "This is home. Come on in."
All right.
Speaking of coming on in,
Speaking of coming in, we have a couple more guests.
I
coming right now.
hope he brought the corn nuts with him because I'm hungry.
I either want nuts or chocolate. Come on. He's making his way. He's a
meeting
fucking
and greeting.
superstar.
Everyone's
Look at
stopping
this,
him.
look at this
Everyone is
superstar.
stopping him. He can't even make it to the table.
Look at this superstar. He's been groped by more men at the show. Mamba, Lior. We have Danny over here. If Danny wants to make an appearance, he can come on in. Sit on down. We used to be all from SoCal, but I moved. Yeah. Here. Take the mic.
That was a smart decision, brother. Yeah.
Let everyone know who you are. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Welcome, guys. I'm Lior here from Mamba Cards, LA Vibes, Cali. My man, Benjo, Mikey. We grew up together, like, collecting cards, and I've been breaking since these dudes started. So I got in the hobby, and I was watching these guys rip, and I learned so much from watching Ben right here to my left. And you guys inspired a lot of people. You guys inspired me as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So these guys you guys came out like a fucking bat out of hell. Okay. They pulled the Zion Tiger. Remember the Zion Tiger? They pulled the Zion Tiger out of Prism. And when that card, I feel like that was like your fucking rocket, right? Sometimes it takes a card like that to fucking take off, right? Yeah. And then obviously they have the sickest Kobe collection of all time. I mean, it is fat, okay?
Yeah,
We're talking PHAT fat.
I appreciate that. I mean, obviously, being born and raised in LA, Kobe was our GOAT and our idol. So, like, we just, like, love Kobe. And, like, I was grateful to watch every single game that he played. Like, my dad was a diehard Laker fan. I grew up a diehard Laker fan. And Kobe was just on our blood, like, So, being in LA, it was nothing but Kobe. So, that's what we collected.
I have to talk on that because I think every kid in LA, it was Kobe. Even if you didn't like him, there were kids out there emulating his shot. I mean, I'm left-handed and white, clearly, and I would emulate his turnaround jumper and try to and I would play like that, and like he's on my Mount Rushmore of athletes,
Definitely.
and I think that goes in. You tie in Kobe to a lot of things. I mean, obviously Mamba, but that's big, and your collection speaks volumes. I love your guys' fucking energy. I watch you guys Instagram outside of Ben because he says some dirty things to me on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
But outside of Ben,
I love it.
I go on your guys' live all the time.
No.
And I've built such a good relationship with you guys because you guys have been so fucking nice to us. You've always been willing to help me and vice versa. So I love what you guys are doing for the hobby, for the community, for everybody,
Definitely. No, we really appreciate it. Like you mentioned yourself, being in LA, I remember being in school when I was a kid, right? Like it was a thing, whenever someone crumbles up a ball of paper and then fade away, what would you say?
Kobe.
Exactly.
That's so true.
Do.
That's so
It's
true.
So true.
Shooting it in the trash.
Shooting it to the trash. But obviously the love goes around. We have mad respect and love for you guys, for Bullpen, for Ben, for you guys as well, and Daddy Rips and Mikey. So it's all reciprocated, but definitely the love, it definitely it travels everywhere, man. So we really appreciate it, and I'm humble to be part of this community with you guys, man. It's just we're in it together, and it's fun to see everyone do well and succeed. And there's definitely a lot of room for everyone to succeed in this business.
We've been kind of talking about how to have a successful break room and what are the key components to a room. If it's just the energy level, if it's what you're breaking, how you're breaking it. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about why you've been so successful and your attitude when you go to work every night and what you're trying to accomplish at the table?
I mean, just like you mentioned, you just got to have your personality and you just have to be yourself and bring that energy and passion. Whenever I'm doing a break, I feel like I'm ripping the box personally for myself. So that passion and energy comes through. And I feel like we're a team. We're doing this together, So it's you just got to be yourself. You also have to have product knowledge, sports knowledge, player knowledge. That's very, very key. But also just being engaged with your following, with the comments, just responding to people, make them feel like they're part of the team or part of the family. Even if people are just sitting on the sidelines watching, you're still entertaining them. It's a show.
Relatability,
100%.
right? If you can relate to somebody who's spending money with you,
yes,
they're going to be more susceptible to spend because they're like, I can relate to this guy. He's got kids. He's got a family. He's got, whatever it might be. You might get a lot of Kobe guys in there because you guys are so passionate about the Kobe stuff. And and like you guys, like you were saying, the biggest thing for me is when I'm opening and I hit a big card, I feel like attached to that card.
100%.
Like I feel like it's my card. So when somebody goes, yeah, I got it graded at a 10 and I sold it, I go, fuck, a piece of my heart's gone, dude.
Yeah,
that was like part of
yeah.
that was my card. Why'd you sell it? You know?
Yeah.
So I get so attached to the cards.
You're mostly invested. You know, you really are. And then like you really want to hit big for them because like if they hit big, they're happy, the room's happy, everyone's excited. Obviously, we don't like to see bad boxes, but it happens. You know, it's a name of the game.
Of course.
But like just being that person, being yourself, being true to yourself, and just being honest and transparent. That's the most important, I would say.
One of the greatest comments I ever got from somebody that was in the room, not even a buyer, told me, Ben, I love how you get just as excited for hitting an auto in a blaster box as you do for hitting a logo man in flawless. And that's the greatest thing. That's the greatest compliment I've ever had as a breaker, because I know that someone that's coming in and spending $40, $50, $75, whatever it is on a blaster, that's a lot of money for them, right? Compared to the guy that's buying $1,000, $1,500 boxes, buying into divisionals for flawless for huge amounts of money. It's comparable because maybe that guy's saved up for a couple days, saved up for a week to buy that blaster. That's a big hit for them.
Yeah.
So understanding that you're and having a wide client base and being excited, I open every single box like it's my own, like you were saying. Like I get excited. It's exciting for me. I love what I do, and I know you feel the same way. I know you feel the same way.
Do you guys ever nerd out post live, like on the cards you hit? Like Sleevey and I will sit there and we're fucking nerding out. Like, dude, I can't believe that. Like, what do you think it's worth? Do you think it'll 10? I don't know. Holy shit. We pulled the Ellie Red Sapphire Auto.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep because I was getting DMs going, how much does the guy want? And I'm going, it's not even my card. I'm like, ooh, fuck. What are we going to get for this card, right? So do you ever nerd out off live? I know you guys, listen, if you guys don't know, these guys are the fastest fucking shippers in all of sports cards. Listen, we're fast. We are real fast. These motherfuckers get off the live because I know I talk to Leo sometimes at 11 o'clock in the morning. He's like, dude, we stayed up till 3, 4 a.m. We did all the shipping. Everything's fucking gone.
Yeah. Faster than Amazon, man.
But
Amazon
you
Prime,
ever fucking nerd out with
Oh.
Danny and the boys? Like, holy shit, fucking, right?
All the time. Like when we hit our most recent biggest card was that dual LeBron and Luka logo, man. Like our reactions were amazing. Like I looked up the security feed after to see everyone's reactions. Those prices. Honestly, I didn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like I was just like on my phone, just wanted to see, yo, how many likes we get. All the comments, just reading the comments, responding to people, because like it was like that rush. You just want to just cherish that moment and live in that moment, and it's like it doesn't wear off.
Yeah.
It's like
it's like addicting rush because you're waiting. You know, we'll go lulls without hitting a big card, and I'm going, what's the next big card? It's coming. It's gonna hit. You know.
I got to be honest with you guys. Do you ever rewatch that night? Rewatch your big rips and you actually opening it and seeing it?
Yeah. Like
I'm so full of myself. I rewatch my hits to drive home.
No, I definitely do. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we definitely do. Especially like if there's a big card, if it's for a big customer, and we're just like so genuinely happy, like so happy for that person. It's like a Sam Nubs. If he hits like a big card, we're happy for him, man. He spends a lot of money. He's big in the hobby. Like,
and let's go to that because Sam is huge in the hobby. He supports a lot of people. You can almost say that he's kept pages alive with him. And when you want those guys to hit big cards, listen, we like it when like the random $40 filler guy hits a $5,000 card.
Yeah.
But the guys like Sam Nubs are really big for the hobby. You want those guys happy. Fanatics, Panini, Leaf, Upper Deck. Bring those guys in. Bring those guys in and pick their brain because they're spending an obscene amount of money.
Yeah.
And if those guys fall out, if those guys start trickling out of the hobby, it's going to be very bad for the hobby. So you want to keep those guys happy.
100%. Like you do want to spend, you do want to help them out too. If they don't hit, of course, like and take care of them, but you want them to hit. And like, obviously you mentioned, like, just keep them going, like keep them in the game. Like, you know, like as long as they're in the game, they're hitting and they're happy. You want to take care of them, make sure that they're still in the game. And then because they're supporting not only our channel, they're helping supporting a million other channels and what they're doing as well. Like, for example, Sam Nubs has a heart of gold. He'll give away cards. He'll give away spots. You know, there's so many things that they do that goes unnoticed, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, this
I have one more question. Go ahead.
this is, we can all attest this. Like, this is a business. Like, we obviously want to make money. We want to make profit. We want to hit our margins. Like, making our big customers happy is very, very important.
Yeah.
And hitting for our big. When I have one of our bigger customers come in and I have a tough night with him, I take it like hard because I'm like, this guy supports me. He spent a lot of money, and if I'm not hitting for him, I need to be doing my job better. I know it's random, but maybe I can find a way to find products that do hit more consistently, steer him in another direction where he can be a little bit more successful, and that's important.
Yeah.
And obviously, yes, taking care of your guys that they don't hit is extremely important. I'm in a lot of rooms. I navigate a lot of rooms. When breakers have a guy come in and spend a lot and not hit, and then it's just like, all right, well, better luck next time. Take care and not give him something. You always want to be taking care of your big customer.
Last thing. Sam Nubbs comes in hot, brings an exquisite.
Yeah.
Talk about the fucking card you guys hit yesterday that he hit. Fucking crazy.
That was a priceless moment. Like, just to watch that, be part of that, like just being in the back, having Carvin, the creator of the product, just give us a little history lesson about the product, and just just talk about the product before you even rip it, and have Sam, have his son Junior pick the last box and literally hit that Jordan Limited logo. That's an amazing priceless moment that you can have with your son.
I was half away across the room,
Yeah.
and the cheers were fucking crazy. It was,
Yeah.
and it was just loud. It was.
Yeah.
I tried to go over there, but it was just so crazy.
Yeah, and again, I don't think people, and talk about this, I don't think people like, you see so many Jordans. They're on Instagram. They're on all the showcases, Jordan. I don't think people realize how rare it is to now pull an exquisite Jordan this many years later, pack fresh, out of a box, a limited logo. That is wildly hard to do.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Just because you're opening exquisite, and you open like 3 or 4 boxes, you're going to hit one? No.
No.
It's an extremely tough card to pull. That was an amazing moment.
Yeah. And Sam rips these big cases like that all the time. And it's not like he's hitting a big card or a Jordan like that. So like it's amazing and great to see and be a part of that experience.
When I see that, I go, how many are left? How
Yeah.
many are pack fresh left?
Yeah.
Can't be many, right?
No.
It can't be many.
No. Yeah.
All right, Lior,
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you for
man.
coming
Thank you, guys.
by.
Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Ben.
Appreciate everything. Tell Danny I said what's up. You ready?
Thank you.
Oh, we got another interview. I appreciate it, Lior.
Mamba
Tell
out,
fam.
baby.
Thank you guys.
Mamba
Mamba.
out, baby.
All right. Well, we're gonna go from one interview to the next. Remember,
Rapid fire.
this is fun, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're all dialed in now, but we're gonna have to just share mics. It's fine.
We're going to share mics. We lost the
Crossing
mic
swords.
today. Yeah.
All right, our next
Here he is.
guest, the best stand display company in the hobby, stand-up displays. Sit down.
You see him every night.
You
Now-
literally see this guy in every night.
You see this guy every night. You just don't know it yet.
How many? Okay, introduce yourself and tell us a little about the stand-up displays.
I am Dan with Stand Up Displays. My buddy Daddy Rips here is one of our biggest supporters. We make custom displays for showing off your brand on your stream. Bullpen uses them. Everybody uses them. Come check out our website.
There you go.
Tell us about like the how you got into this, where you saw this idea, you saw a niche and you attacked it, and the success that's come.
So we started our company back in 2016. We started just solving a problem that we had, which was there's no good way to display cards. The custom stuff didn't come later until about 2019. And, Daddy Rips is one of the early adopters, cards and coffee, etc. And we realized there was a big market for this. So we've now made them for Fanatics and Tops and eBay and all those. But people need to get their brand out there. And I know you give out shirts and, people wear the shirts and that's awesome. But if you share that brand on Instagram or Facebook, that's the best way to display, best way to spread your brand for other people to check it out.
You're doing something now that I like is the sticker top loaders,
Yes.
because it's very hard to find somebody who just would do normal branding stickers. And you're going, hey, I need a sticker for a top loader. And you think you're talking to someone in the hobby, but it's just a fucking, merch guy. And he's going, what the fuck is a top loader?
Right.
And then you got to kind of explain, hey, it needs to be this. And that's big because like the guy I use, they're great. They're usable.
Right.
But he can't get my logo to fit. My logo's a little weird. So it's like, it looks funky.
Right.
And now you can do it, and it's going to look professional. And it's going to add a layer to your business.
Yep.
Because a lot of people need stickers. I love what you're doing with the stands. I've been a massive supporter, and I've probably sent over 100 people your way, just because when I believe in something, especially in the hobby, like I want people to benefit from it, and I don't ever ask for anything in return. I want to see other people thrive, because
Right.
if they're thriving, that means the hobby's thriving, and everybody can thrive. This guy right here was the first. I was the first person to make him put fucks
Yes.
and an AR-15
Yep.
on a stand-up display.
The first curse words and the first gun. So that will forever be your.
And then he made
title.
one daddy fuck stand,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
don't have it anymore.
Yep. And I was like, oh God, I had to tell my wife we made a stand that said fucks on it. And she's like, let me guess, Daddy Rips. And I was like, yep, that's hilarious. But going back on the stickers, we want to reduce friction for people. They're already sending us the logo. We wanted to give them something easier to do. Like, hey, we know what you need. We're going to make it for you. Pro molds are different than Ultra Pros. We got that covered. And to your point, we can do all the different sizes. We just want to make it easier for people. But also, from a hobby experience, I mean, word of mouth is why we are where we are. We've spent very little on marketing. That's changing as we continue to grow, but people like yourselves that have just spread the word, we'd be nowhere without you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, Blez he doesn't pay anything on marketing, because he just takes his shirt off, shows
True.
those nipples.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
And listen, I'll look at those pepperonis
His
all day.
his
I will look-
his nipples actually might need 2 stand-up displays.
Nipples in Death Valley on stands. Yeah, that Death Valley thing, man.
Yeah. Talk about how much it exploded, and did you? Obviously, you want to be successful and you want your company to thrive, but like this, it's been crazy, and you're literally on multiple lives every night. Your product is being used.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy because we're in a streaming world, right? And it's wild that you can produce this product and you can go to any room and your product is just sitting there.
Yeah.
Talk about how wild that is and how that's kind of changing things for you and kind of made things
Oh yeah.
kind of explode exponentially for you.
Going back to kind of why we're here. So I had a baby during COVID, and I had 7 weeks off I had worked for GE before, and that's where the business took off, because I actually had time during the day, baby sleeping, grinding on this, and it just took off. So that's kind of where it came from. But at this point, I think we brought over 3,000 displays to the show for a lot of the big brands. And so, I think at this point we've shipped over, I want to say 35,000 displays all over the world. We hit all 50 states and territories last year. So it's crazy to see, because it's a passion that we had that, like I said, through word of mouth and just constant iteration, it's something that people have integrated, and it's become synonymous with branding and breaking.
I think you're the only brand in the hobby that you get the most exposure,
Yeah.
right? It's got to be, right?
Yes.
I mean, every time I'm live, they're on there. Every time, like, oh, you're fine. You're fine. Yell away. We're just live on Instagram. 17,000 people are watching this right now. I'm just kidding. 17 people are watching this. 17. And guess what? 7 of those are my family members. Okay.
That's so funny.
So you probably have the most like brand exposure.
Yeah.
Is there anything, and this is the one question I was going to ask you yesterday, but I wanted to save it for this.
Sure.
Is there anything that you're doing right now? Like, give us a taste. Is there anything new that you're working on? Or maybe like, hey, we're trying to get this in the works, trying to get this patent or whatever it might be to maybe take that fucking next step.
Oh,
up.
yeah. So you got to keep growing. You got to be creative, man. So, yes, we just got our patent on the 4th of July. So we have gone through that process, which is painful, but worth it. But no, man, we've got some big news coming. You're the Bowman King, right?
I am.
So I guess I get to publicly announce here that we will be having MLB licensing, hopefully in time for the playoffs. So, look, we've done really well with customs. We've done really well with generics, but we want to really bring people the stuff that they want to see, which is teams. That's why
That's
we're
awesome.
here. Teams and players. So coming soon, MLB, you're going to be able to have your favorite team right on the display.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming by.
Absolutely.
Thank you for giving all the details. I think before you go, what's the one take that you're gonna get away from National right now?
Man, I hope the next venue has AC. That's
Okay.
obviously first and foremost, but everybody's saying that. No, dude, people are saying the hobby's dead. The hobby is not dead.
I always say this about the National. Every summer, the market slows down, right? Every summer, Ben, would you say?
Yeah.
Every summer it slows down.
Well, yeah,
People
because
go on vacation.
and you don't have the major sports. Baseball's going on, but you don't have football. You don't have basketball. You don't have hockey.
Cricket's a little slower.
Cricket's a little
Yeah,
slow right now.
But the National, I always say it's a kick in the rear for the hobby. When people their whole oh my God, it's slowing down. Oh, I only sold 5 boxes tonight. Oh my God, what are we doing? And then they come up here and they go, oh my God, we're good.
Yeah.
Like we're fine. We just gotta push through that summertime because when football season comes around, it kicks right back up. Everyone's gonna want to know, what did Joe Burrow? Was it a cramp yesterday? Did you see it?
I did. The poor little calf cramp.
Oh, I carted
Brett-
off from a cramp.
Brett Favre is rolling around in a hay bale or something. I don't know where he's at, but he's rolling.
He's wearing his Wrangler
rolling.
jeans and sexting a cheerleader.
No, because Brett Favre played through everything, and these guys are getting carted off for a damn calf muscle.
Dude, Ben Roethlisberger and Brett Favre, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Big Ben was whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever
So-
it takes.
When his ribs weren't broken. Ben Roethlisberger.
Let everyone know that's in here where they can find you, where they can order from you if they haven't already.
Yep. So we are at the tail end of the SCI booth, booth 563 between eBay and Fanatics, 2 great companies. You can find us at standupdisplays.co or follow us on Instagram at standupdisplays.
Awesome.
And guys, I just want to say thank you to both of you. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. You
Thank
guys are
you.
doing awesome.
Absolutely.
You're awesome, man. I appreciate it. I am taking another daddy.
Yeah, go
Yes.
take a shirt. Take a shirt.
Swing by
Daddy
the
Bowman
bullpen
shirt,
booth here
Yeah, grab 'em.
for your daddy merch. Daddy merch
Yeah.
available.
I don't know. We're live right
1325.
now on Instagram. Or on,
We're also next door
YouTube.
to
we
Women
Yeah,
in the Hobby.
take it-
So
take it.
come over and check us out here. We have a dual booth, Women in the Hobby. That's
So-
Ty's project, and it's been a huge response to it this weekend.
I think
So
women
if
in the
you're
hobby.
here, come check us out.
I think it's super important.
It's extremely important.
I have 2 daughters. My daughters love to open packs. It's just their lifestyle now because they see me in the rip room and when they walk by and they're going, what's that? What are you opening tonight? And I'm trying to get them more involved and make it more of like a family style business.
Absolutely.
So, and they love it. Let's, I want to talk, we missed out on a lot of good stuff on that first run. So
Yeah.
I do want to talk about, if you're early and if you're new to the hobby and this might be your first show, take it in, really absorb everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Have a game plan. If you're just here to have fun and walk around, that's one thing. But if you have like certain cards you want to sell, if you're looking for certain memorabilia, it's all here. It is all here. Would you say 90% of the hobby usually is here?
I mean, you can find anything here.
Yeah.
You can literally find anything here. You can find everything from supplies to ultra high-end rare cards and everything in between. There's vintage sections, there's modern, there's memorabilia. You name it, it's here. Like from a collector, from collectors to corporate and everything in between, it's wild here. So many people. We were talking about how the hobby's dead. If you were here, you know that is completely false. This
Yeah.
place is jam-packed, lots of kids, which is great. I
A
love
lot
that.
of kids,
a lot
yeah.
of kids, a lot of dads and moms with their little ones, and that's been refreshing to see.
I also think like people that like that whole hobby is dead thing, they don't, when you walk around here and you just it is a spectacle,
It is.
You're seeing deals being made left and right. I would say last year there wasn't as many. I've been talking to people and they're saying that people are paying 80-85% right now on cards, which is a big number.
Yep.
And they're saying that deals are going down left and right, which is also good. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. And like we said when Dan was here, like football season is typically when everything starts ramping back up. People really start getting more engaged. Kids are back in school. so the parents have more time to spend on their collection, on buying and selling and ripping. So I think it's important. You're hearing a lot of cheers. They probably just pulled a base Luca out of a $5,000 prison box.
That's right.
Let's cheer about that. How else are you feeling?
Say it again.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Obviously, you and I are super passionate about what we do. So being here and being able to meet everyone, put names, just put faces to screen names, and just hear the compliments and people that are in our room all the time. We're super excited about our brand and what we do.
Yeah.
It's great to see the response firsthand.
I want to say a big thank you to Mitch and Ty and Ben, everybody at Bullpen. I made a post a few weeks ago asking for help to do this and get this like kicked off. And Mitch was like the first person to reach out to me. He's like, I have an extra booth. Give me a call. Let's get Ty on the phone. Let's get Ben on the phone. And it was like that. No questions asked. It's awesome to see. Because I have a story for Ben. I don't even know if he knows. I think I gave you a little glimpse, but I didn't even really have a relationship with Bullpen. I had never met Mitch. I never met you. I just met Ben yesterday.
Yeah, we just met yesterday.
We've had conversations and texts and some dirty texts and stuff. But the first time I met Mitch, I walked into that store. And, a lot of people, Mitch gets a little bad rep, for whatever reason. I think it's jealousy. I think it's whatever. Mitch has his ways. I walked in that store and he treated me like we've been friends for 15 years.
Yeah.
And he was walking me around. You have access to all this wax. You have access to anything in here. Whatever. My shop is your shop. And it was like a very humbling experience for me because I'm like, holy shit, I just met this guy and he's like giving me the red carpet treatment.
Yeah.
And and that goes right into hand to hand in what we're doing right now because Ty and you guys were so willing to just go, hey, we have the booth. Let's do it. Let's run this.
Yeah. We've kind of pride ourselves on just being like community first and foremost. Everything else is secondary, even the cards. Having a place where you can come and just hang out and have a good time. Again, like I say with the live, I'm going to say it with the shop itself. Like if you just want to come and hang out and not rip anything and not buy anything and just hang out and have a good time and talk sports, like that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
it
awesome.
is.
We love that.
I'd like to get we were talking about getting somebody from Women in the Hobby in here. Is Ty around?
Yeah, I want to get Kayla.
I
want to get Kayla on. Or maybe Ty if Ty's around.
Yeah, we should get Ty on. We should get we should try to find some more people. I know everybody is super busy, guys. This was put together last minute. Everybody's like, yes. Exactly.
I'm going to be DMing some people, texting some people.
Let's try to get some more people here.
Let me get Sheila. Give me a second.
Yeah. I'll take over for a second. All right. So, how you guys doing? Yeah, good. So basically right now, it's chaos. There are thousands and thousands of people walking back and forth right now. It's chaos, but it's
Kayla's
controlled.
here.
All right.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. Pull up.
I'm going to scoot back there.
All right.
All right. Tell everyone who you are, where to find you.
You know, hold this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Kayla Norsworthy of Kayla Collects. Kayla.collects on Instagram. That's what I mostly do. I post some content, storytelling, cards, you name it. I pretty much do it. Yeah. So
When did you get into the hobby?
2013.
2013.
So I've been collecting 10 years already. Yeah.
How old are you?
Take a guess.
23.
Woo! Not 23. 19.
19. I know the way you said take a guess. I was going, oh, maybe she's a little older. So
Yeah.
So 10 years. What was the first product? What was the first card you bought
First card I bought. Ooh, that's a good question.
or traded for? Or
I know the first card I pulled.
Okay.
So I got into the hobby through 2013 Top Series 1 baseball.
Okay.
And at the time, Manny Machado was my favorite non-Rays player. Tampa Bay Rays is my favorite team. And in my first pack I ever opened, I pulled a Manny Machado rookie card.
Okay.
And I still have that card today. So first card I bought. I don't know. I didn't do much buying when I first got into it. I would mostly open like opening day or like tops just because like that's what I did. And then I didn't know card shows existed until probably like 5 years into it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Talk about the importance of women in the hobby. Because I think it's important. I have 2 daughters.
mhm.
I say a lot of crude and rude things on my live, but I am a huge champion for women because I have a wife and 2 girls, and I want them to be the best they can ever be. So talk about how important it is for this space because it is male driven.
100%, yeah. So when I got into this in 2013, I did not see myself represented at all in collecting. So even when I went to shows, like for the past like 5 years ago, like I didn't see women in the hobby at all at any shows, like maybe 1 or 2 here and there. So that's kind of why I started posting content and doing what I do is because I want younger Kayla to be able to see someone like me when they get into it. It's so important because we all want community, and with guys it's a lot easier because you guys can be like, hey, like I collect, oh that's cool, this is my favorite sports team. With girls it's like they don't know that women collect, so that's why we're trying to spread that message just to get more people involved because women love sports and they just don't know about cards, and when we pair those 2 together that could be pretty cool.
Talk about, because you're really big on content. Your content's great.
Okay, thank you.
And talk a little bit about how you started it, what your goal is for your content, because I feel like a lot of breakers out there, content creators, they just kind of pump out content, and maybe there's no message behind it. It's just, oh, we need to get our content out today. We need to get our content out today. But yes,
Yeah.
but I think you have a little bit more time with your content. You take care of your content. You put out a message. So talk about that and the importance of that.
Yeah. I'd say so it goes back to wanting younger Kayla to see someone like me now. So that kind of I guess is my motivation behind my content. And so I just try to do storytelling with cards, and I think every card, every collector, everything has a story that deserves to be shared in any sort of way. So I started a series recently called Dollar Bucks Dimes, which is cheap cards with cool stories. And I just wanted to do that because I think most creators now only post like high-end cards, and that's not every collector. Not every collector can afford to do that. Most people can't, and most people don't share dollar box cards. So I just do me. Like I just use my voice and what I want to share. And
that's one of the most important things with content. A lot of people say you should do content that you like.
exactly.
You're not doing content for other
100%.
people. Now, granted, other people are going to see it, but you should do content for you. Like, and it goes back to those cards things. Like, just us setting this up, I've had like 4 or 5 people trying to build sets. You know, like that's their passion, that's their joy, that's what they're here for. So, and like with the cool cards, like one of the coolest cards we've ever pulled was a Dominique Wilkins pump card. It was
Okay.
a piece of the pump, 1 of 1.
Oh,
Now that
that's
card
pretty-
is not worth that much,
Yeah.
but it was the most that I ever got out of a card. It wasn't the $100,000 Holland that we pulled or $50,000 Ellie De La Cruz that we pulled.
Mhm.
It was that card. So I think there is a lane for everybody, especially in this hobby. It's not just, like you said, it's not just about high-end cards. The other thing I want to talk about, I think it's important for people like me and you. We have kids. I have daughters. It's important to show them, like, hey, you know, you can collect cards. You can get into
Exactly.
something like this. My daughters right now are doing jujitsu and theater.
Okay.
Like theater, like that was my thing, right? I loved it. I love putting on a show and entertaining and talking and doing all that stuff. But I'm like, jujitsu, I never did that, you know? So I like that they're like branching out. My youngest daughter, she loves ripping. She loves it. She's like, can we rip a box tonight? And I'm like, oh, well, the cheapest one on the table is $400.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe another night, you know, wait till I get some blasters in, you know? but they just love it. And she doesn't know what she's hitting. She's 8, but it brings her so much joy. And sometimes I'll just set up a camera and I'll go, "You're live, and she's like, "We're live," and I'm like, I'm just reporting it, and she's opening and
so
she
cool.
just enjoys it,
Yeah.
So that's why it's important. I think it's important. It's incumbent upon our generation in the hobby to really prop up women in the hobby. So
Exactly.
anything else, Ben?
Yeah, talk about your national experience 2023. How's it been? What have been your favorite moments so far?
It's been wild. Uh-oh.
What do we got?
Hold on. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, national experience 2023.
Listen, we already had a massive mess up. We were live for 18 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and my intro was just playing on loop for 18
Oh,
minutes.
Yeah,
my
it was great.
goodness.
We didn't even look at the comments. So
Very edgy. I think we should have just rolled with it.
Yeah.
Anyways, nationals 2023 so far
Yeah.
for you.
It's been pretty wild. Meeting so many people that enjoy my content has been kind of crazy because I think sometimes with social media, numbers are just numbers, and you don't think of, oh, if 4,700 people were walking behind me, following me, it would be crazy, right? But on social media, you don't get to always meet those people, so that's been super cool. And having opportunities to capture content and tell stories has been awesome. We had Penelope Hawking at our booth today, an NWSL player, and she doesn't know cards, but she got into it because we were talking to her about it, and she actually pulled her own one of 3,000 packs.
That's awesome.
And getting that on camera, capturing that, all the excitement around it was just, that's what I love doing. Sports tell stories, sports cards tell stories. So that's what makes it exciting for me.
Yeah, I love the connection stories when someone pulls someone that they grew up watching or someone that their dad or their mom loved watching, and how they carry on that tradition.
Mhm.
Talk about, we'll finish off with this. Talk about content, what you have coming up, how you see yourself expanding your content, evolving your content, and what you have coming for moving forward.
Okay. Let's see. To be honest, I don't know how my content evolves from here. I think just continuing to be authentic, continuing to do what I like and what I like sharing. And a lot of stuff coming up for me. Actually, I have a lot of posts from the national coming. My black box. I got to interview Prince Fielder, which was pretty
that's
crazy.
sweet.
And yeah, I think just talking to people, content wise. I'm also going to Athletes Unlimited game tonight. I'm throwing out the first pitch.
Where are you going?
Athletes Unlimited softball game.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I'm throwing out the first pitch for that. So that will be content
Listen,
right there.
have you been warming up?
I have.
Okay,
And
all right.
I was practicing
And I don't want to
overhand.
put a pressure on you, but I just want to make
Yes.
sure that you got the
Yes.
noodles
Yes,
noodles warm.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So
All right.
I was practicing overhand, and some of the players stopped by at our booth yesterday, and they were like, "So, are you going to throw it underhand?" And I was like, "I've been practicing overhand." They're like, "You should totally do it underhand." So now I'm worried it may not be good,
Yeah.
and I was told that if I bounce it, not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, what are you gonna throw it in the stands? Is that a little bit better?
I'd rather sail it than bounce it 100%.
I get as much air under that thing as possible. Get it to the plate.
Overhand, totally can get it there.
Yeah.
Underhand, I can get it there, but I'm not accurate.
Yeah. No pressure though.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure.
Kayla, thank you so much for,
No
for
problem.
coming on.
Thank you for
We
having me.
appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. Give that back to Ben. Thank you so much. Keep being transparent. That's transparency is key.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right,
Next
back-
up,
back to just you and I.
I think we have Seablez coming soon, so I
Oh,
cannot wait.
boy.
I love Chad.
Oh,
We
boy.
have another interviewer here. He's ready. I'll just kind of go with the punches until he's ready. Ready? Hey boys, how you doing? Good. You guys, that blaster's free if anybody wants it.
Again. We
The
are at
blaster's
booth,
free. Hold
booth
on.
1325. Super organic here. Whoever shows up, shows up. We have
14
some
in.
stuff lined up. But yeah, whoever shows up, shows up.
If you're here and you're on the live, swing by, say what's up. We're gonna be using this. It's gonna be just like a content reel for us. for the next few weeks. Bring on randoms. Someone said bring on randoms. Randoms. Okay, yeah, we could probably do that. We do have somebody set up right now to come in. We're kind of it is wild, right?
What's up? How are you?
It is super wild. Yeah, he's ready. Is he ready? Yeah. Let's do it. We got somebody coming in. Yeah, for sure. All right, he's gonna do a video first. He's like probably one of the biggest content creators. We have Kobos Cards. Do the video first, and then we'll have you. Kobos Cards coming in. I'm gonna have him talk because we're sharing an Airbnb together. Okay, we're not sharing a bed together, but we are sharing an Airbnb together.
Sure, buddy.
Kobos, I wanted him to come on because he does something special with vintage. He's big into vintage, and talk about what you've been doing.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I've made a lot of customers and clients throughout the years, partially because I'm also in rare coins. And so we do a lot of Morgan dollars, peace dollars in the rare coin sector. And we have a substantial following when it comes to especially Morgan dollars. Like, we're probably one of the top dealers in the nation. It's called Larry Shapiro Rare Coins, and we're based in Temecula, California. So a lot of those clients, they also like to see sports cards too. And, they've come to a time in their life where they want to buy some of these cards they never bought before. And so I'm out there shopping around for certain guys. And, just as an example right now, I've got a longtime customer that he wants to build a 75th anniversary NBA set. And so he wants every rookie of every player in that came out.
That's an endeavor.
And so we're about halfway through that set right now. There's some difficult cards in there at the type of grades that this customer wants. So, it takes a lot of shopping around. It takes a lot of time. This has been a project we've been doing now for about 8 months, and I've probably about 40 cards in. So those are some of the things that I try to do for some of the customers. I found a George Mikan in a 5, which is really tough to obtain.
Very tough card
at a decent price. And I'm actually currently here around the corner trying to work a deal on a little 3-card lot that'll fulfill some of the smaller cards in the set, but they're high grade, and he'll be happy with them. But really it's just about, building that relationship, the confidence in me to bring back a good, clean product. A lot of these guys are registry driven. So, they're building PSA registry sets. In the coins, they build PCGS sets, which is, also under Collector's Universe. And so they're really more about the quality and just showing a nice example in their sets and holding them long term. So that's basically what I'm doing at this show, besides also selling some modern stuff, flipping. We did a lot of that yesterday, obviously, but that's basically what I'm doing right now. Hopefully today and tomorrow I have a continued successful show, and I'll keep going about that. So
talk about, like, for me, I've seen kind of an uptick in the last year or so of younger collectors getting much more involved in vintage, because you've seen the market go like that, but vintage just always just kind of stays steady and doesn't really have those huge falls that the modern stuff have. So talk about young collectors starting to realize, well, okay, maybe I can invest my money differently in this industry and get more involved in vintage, which is a safer long-term play.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've all seen a lot of guys leave this industry here in the last year or two. They took some major hits that they couldn't recover from. There was a lot of hype that we all know about. And I'm also part of that too. Like, we're ripping stuff. We're buying all sorts of cards. And we're like, oh yeah, this is going to turn out great. And I think people are starting to understand that they need to do less prospecting, not in baseball so much. In baseball, that's the fun of it for us, right? Because you can buy it at a good price right now, and then long term, you go back and you're like, holy crap, I have 50 of these, I have 100 of these,
Yeah.
like, just like Ohtani is a prime example, right? And so, But when it comes to a lot of these other sports, bringing in these guys that really, like, if they don't go to a top organization and
Out the gate.
out the gate, like, it's an uphill battle, but we're all excited because they did something in college. You
Like,
know?
you could take Bobby Witt, for example, right? He's on the Royals. If he had the same stats on the Dodgers, on the Yankees, like, if he look at all the guys that are shitting on Volpe. If Bobby Witt was on the Royals doing what he's doing on the Yankees, doing what he's doing on the Royals, Bobby Witt cards would be going bananas because all the Yankee guys, look at the short side. He's batting 260 and he's got 30 bags and he's got 15 jacks, but he's on the Royals, you know? So sometimes it depends on what team you go on. I mean, he would have to be batting 320, hitting 25 jacks right now,
Right.
but he just doesn't. He hasn't done that. And the Royals don't get that love. So I think it's really interesting what you're doing is like you have these buyers and they're kind of telling you like what they're looking for, what they want. And you're out here fucking grinding your ass off, going to all these vintage booths. And vintage is so predominant. I mean, people don't realize it. I would shit on it all the time. I'd walk in here and go, look at all these fucking vintage booths. Like, but now talking with you and seeing all these other collectors and people in the hobby, they're like moving towards that. I could see the appeal for it. When they're telling me, they're like, hey man, vintage is only down 15%, those select cards that you guys are all buying back in the day, they're down 50%, 60%,
Yep.
So I think it's important. And I think what you're doing is cool.
And I mean, right now there's, we all don't know what is the best time to buy necessarily, right?
Yeah.
But I really feel right now, you want to go after iconic cards. You want to go after the Willie Mays rookies, the Sandy Koufaxes. I mean, they are, in my opinion, dirt cheap. Like these things were unobtainable before, and now, I was seeing. I'm thinking about a card right now. I really want a Willie Mays rookie in in a 5 right now. Well, it's you look at comps. Last one sold for like $25,000, but I found one on the floor stickered at $17,000 right now.
Jeez.
And I don't know if I even want to negotiate it.
Yeah,
because
don't get too greedy.
Right. Because then they go look and they go, holy crap, there's 25K, 23 comps. Like, so, another thing with the show is, and I've heard guys say this week, completely agree with them. If you see a good price on something, everyone has to make theirs, but you might just need to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to happen 2 years from now.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
So
I like what you're doing. Keep it up.
yeah, man.
Keep educating me because I need more education on the vintage stuff. I'm sure a lot of us do, right?
Well, you're definitely my baseball educator in a lot of ways.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
especially the modern.
Well, I
stuff.
appreciate it, Kobos.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, that was Kobos Cards. He's on Instagram. He's on Whatnot. You're on Whatnot, right? Kobos is on Whatnot. We have Talon. Kobos. We have our next guest. We're at an hour and 3 minutes.
Hour and 3 minutes in.
I need a drink.
I need a drink too.
You need a drink?
Get a drink, maybe a
Let's go. Talon
Chicken
Sports
wings.
Cards. Yeah?
Yes.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, bro?
All right, Talon.
What are we doing?
You are possibly the closest person to the pulse of the national outside of like board members and racial. Like you are the closest to the pulse. You know what's going on. You know who the fuck's running around here. You know what's going on. Tell us how the show's going. What are your likes, dislikes? Obviously the AC is like the biggest problem, but go ahead.
Yeah, every single day that I've been here, I've been absolutely drenched. This is the first time. You guys actually have a nice little spot right here.
Oh yeah.
This is like,
yeah.
yeah, this is nice. I don't know what you did over here.
I went up in the rafters and I moved the ventilation to spray
Right on
AC
it.
on
That
us.
was smart. That was smart. You probably make some money by doing that. Every booth. But yeah, this show is. I mean, it's a lot bigger than anything I've ever seen. I mean, the very first day. Where are we looking? Right here.
Yeah, you can.
What's up, guys? Okay, so this show is the very first day I came here. When I was walking around, I got lost. Like that's how big it was. And I mean, even at one point, I started at a booth. I was like, okay, I'm starting right here. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to try to find the other side of the convention. Couldn't find it.
Next thing you know, 15 minutes later, I wind up at that very same booth. Like that's how big this place is.
It is. It is. It's overwhelming in a sense, right? You almost have to like make your rounds and like get your bearings and go, okay, I get it now. I see the floor plan. Now I know kind of where to attack.
Yes. So I've been here for 3 days now, as you guys have, and I still don't know where anything is. You know, I really don't. There's just that much going on. But I mean, everybody in the hobby is here. The crowds are great. For what is today? Friday? The crowds are huge for a Friday. You know, you don't really see this. So tomorrow is going to be absolutely insane. This booth right here with the air coming down, you can charge for that.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Saturday's gonna be rough.
I thought I would be drenched in sweat. I thought my ass would be like soaked, but I'm solid right now. What's the most positive thing that you've seen from the show?
The most positive, I've seen the younger generation really come out in full force. I think that's what's really cool. I would say about a year ago, it seemed like the younger generation was just coming out just to flip cards. That's really what it seemed like. But now it's like you're seeing families come out. You know, a lot of families. Like the majority of people here that I've been seeing have been families and kids. But I think something really cool is a lot of the booths are now not targeting, but they're doing things for the kids. Like they're giving away packs and free packs and everything. Yeah. So that's big for the hobby.
So you hear it from traditionalists when it's like corporate entities come in and they take over, and you're seeing a lot more of a corporate element here, the big companies coming in. I think it's a good thing. I think knowing the representatives, being able to meet them for the cards that you're buying, for the product that you're buying, I think that's a good thing for the hobby. I think everyone being transparent, being attainable, you can meet these people. Talk about that. Talk about how things have started to move towards more of like, it's almost like a 50-50, almost getting to that point where corporate and vendor. And what do you think that means for the collectors coming through here?
Yeah, so it's a new generation of collecting. I would say, oh, Dad, you have a legend right here, David Marino. Yeah, so I mean, if you just walk around this booth, all right, we're on timeout. We have a legend in the building. We have a legend. So if you just take a walk around, it is completely different than last year. As far as like the older, not older, but the generation that has been into this a lot longer with all the vintage and everything, compared to that corporate side. This year, all of the booths have changed. Everybody has stepped up their game. And I think a lot of it has to do because of these big corporations coming in, like Fanatics and Pristine. Upper Deck has a killer booth over there. I don't know if you saw. Did you see that one? Yeah. That one was sick. But what's happening is it's stepping up. Even the older vendors, the older generation of vendors, stepping them up to, hey, we need to now have a booth behind us. We're modernizing the hobby.
It's a destination show, and even I've talked about it with Ty that, like, even we're thinking about we need to step up our game because you want to be seen and you want to be able to have people immerse themselves and experience things in your booth and not just walk by, take some things and move on. Like, it's becoming increasingly important to engage your customer immediately at a show like this.
It brings competition, right? So you might be sitting here and going, oh man, I want to do that next year. That's cool. Backyard has they got a claw machine over there, so everybody's over there using a claw machine. I saw skee ball over in this other one. I saw, the basketball. So I think everybody is trying to be innovative, grow, get bigger, do think outside the box. I think we're in for a very wild fall with Fanatics Live coming in, whatnot. You have Drip, you have the card shop, you have all these variations of break channels. How do you see that? How do you foresee that break going down? Because I think, and I could be wrong, I think you're going to start seeing people being locked down on contracts, and they say, hey, you can only rip with us on Fanatics. You can't go on or on whatnot, and we're going to pay you, or we're going to lower your percentage. How do you think that's going to pan out?
When you first started talking about this, I knew where you're going with it. It's something that we're currently dealing with not on the break. We don't break right now, but we're on the influencer side of things, and we're starting to all get locked down. All my friends are influencers. I know most of them in the industry, and most of these big companies are now approaching us with contracts, with money. It's very tough being an influencer because there's never been money coming to us. There hasn't. Like for the past 2 years, it was just most of these influencers just making content for free. So now all of a sudden, just because all these lives are coming out and the vaults, there's the vault war, that's big. So now certain companies are coming to certain people and, trying to get them really locked down and exclusives and other things. So it's been a conversation that I've had with several people over the past couple of days is I say over the next 6 months, we're going to be seeing lockdowns across the board for influencers, for breakers, for everything, because these big companies, they're going neck to neck. They're going to war right now. Nobody's talking about it really, aside from you right now. They're going to war. It's a big deal for everybody, and their livelihoods are on the line.
Customer acquisition is on our end I think is going to be a big deal too. And these larger customers in these live rooms getting deals, getting things closer to wholesale, like that's something that I fear a little bit. And we're going to see. It's going to be I think it's going to be a crazy end of the year.
Yeah.
And
see who aligns with what.
Yeah, because Fanatics is taking over, and they're already acquiring a ton in the space, breakers, companies. So it's going to be a very interesting next 2 months. Very interesting.
I think Fanatics has all the money in the world, right? They really do. Michael Rubin and that whole team. I think they're going in the right direction. I'm curious how it's going to happen. Like you said, for people like us, right? I've been approached by almost all of them. And it's like, where do I fall? Where am I going to go? Like, do I lock down with one and basically excommunicate myself from all the other ones, and so I can't go on those platforms, or do I try to diversify? And you have TikTok, and now eBay. The eBay live stuff is fucking wild. eBay live, you have 14, 20,000 people in there. That's a whole other fucking thing that people can get into. You want to hop in next? Go get me some more people too. So I think it's gonna, like you said, I think the end of the year is gonna be really wild. I think you're gonna start seeing, in my opinion, I think that some of the big guys on Whatnot, I think Whatnot's gonna come in and go, hey, we're gonna give you 3% for 2 years. How do you say no to that? They're already so successful, and they're probably paying 8%, 9%, 10%. I'm paying fucking 12 on that site, 12%. If they came to me and said, hey, we'll give you 3% for 2 years and we'll boost your page and we'll give you the push, like, it's hard to say no to that, And I don't know if Fanatics is going to do that, but I know Drip was probably trying to do that. So it's going to be good. Competition's always good. We can't have just one company overtaking everything. We just can't have it. So I think it's going to be good. And I hope Ruben and Fanatics, I hope they stay on the track right now with the products and everything, because the products are coming out nice. And yeah. So anything else you want to add from the show?
I just saw something pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just came back from the Fanatics live booth. It was Allen Iverson and Michael Rubin. They were opening 1986 Flair basketball boxes, or one box.
Oh my gosh.
And Michael Rubin puts a bounty on a Michael Jordan rookie. Or Mike, did I say that right? Michael Rubin put a bounty on the Michael Jordan rookie.
Yeah.
For a PSA 10, he said, I will give whoever pulls this, because they were giving the packs away. Whoever pulls this, I will give them $150,000 for the card, no matter the grade. PSA 8, they walked it all the way over here. I have a video going to be coming out during the week. I followed them. They took the card. They literally walked it all the way down to PSA. I followed them the whole way over there. It was a PSA 8. Michael Rubin spent $150,000 on PSA 8.
Wow.
It happened.
Can I just say something real quick? Can 1986 Fleer basketball stop being like the big? I mean, it's so overplayed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Jordan rookie is an iconic card, but there are so many out there. And you open a box, you're always going to hit a Jordan rookie in a box. If it is a legit box, you're always going to hit one. Sometimes multiple. We got to stop. We got to move on and try and get more creative with our attraction rips, because it's stale. It's a great card. It's an iconic card. Don't get me wrong. I would love to own one in a super high grade. It's an iconic card. It's a card I grew up with and idolized. But like, let's start getting a little bit more imagination.
Where would you go with that? Like modern, like
wherever,
Flawless or something more modern?
Yeah, like I would love to see like older Flawless NT and stuff like that. Like open a
2003.
Yeah, open like a 13, 14, 2012. Some high-end product from then.
Yeah.
Open up some Exquisite. Like that Exquisite rip yesterday was awesome. Pulling a limited logos. Like I'm excited about that. Okay, so Sam Nubbs pulls the Exquisite limited logo. Jordan. That's an awesome card. You open up a Fleer box. I'm like, okay, you're gonna hit a Jordan. I don't need to be like this because I know a Jordan's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with Exquisite, I'm like this the entire time. I'm like, oh my gosh, is he gonna pull it this time? Have a little bit more imagination. It's not all about 86.
First year Prism, you know,
Yeah,
football.
it's
First
not-
year Prism.
It's not all
basketball,
about the 86
yeah.
Jordan anymore. It just isn't.
Well,
You nailed it
yeah.
for sure.
I appreciate you coming by. I know you're a busy guy. Yesterday, I got a picture with you, and it was like fucking 3 seconds. You're gone. I know you're running around. Appreciate you stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't tuned in, I literally watch every episode of these guys. It's amazing.
I appreciate that. I really
Amazing.
do.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you.
All right. That was Talon Sports Cards. He has basically like the finger. He's got the pulse on the finger. What does that mean? Finger-
You'll get it right eventually.
He's got his finger on the pulse.
There you go. There you got there.
The finger. Yeah. We love fingers. Yeah. So now we're just chilling. We've been doing this for a while. It's been fun. I want to
been
get some
fun.
more people though.
I want to get some more people.
Maybe we should get Ty on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know she's running around. I know she's busy.
Let me see.
The camera keeps auto focusing in and out. Here, you know what? I got an idea. Teddy. All right. This is one of my buddies. I've known him my whole life. I've actually known him. No. I've known him. Who? All right. I've known him longer than he's been alive. Okay. It's pull out cards. Now, tell me that's not dirty.
Good, how are you?
Okay. So, introduction. This is kind of what I wanted to do. This is kind of like the point of this because he just got in the hobby as a breaker. He's been in the hobby for a long time. I've known his family my whole life. His dad is basically my dad. I call him my dad. This is something like, how did you get into the breaker space? Okay. Talk about that. And maybe Ben and I can give you some fucking real pointers on the direction that you can go as it pertains to entertainment, breaking, products, all that sense.
So I got in the industry, like a long time ago. I've been around cards for a long time. Breaking aspect of it, never gotten a break until, DR started his business. I sat there. We ripped Bowman for years, 2-3 years. I love it. I love the card industry, but I also looked at an aspect of what way I can get into it other than just being on the opposite side of it. So I really started with the media. I wasn't a breaker. I'm not a huge breaker or anything, but I really pushed the media, doing reels, consistent avenues of, TikTok, YouTube, every little aspect of it to try to help grow that platform. Still doing it. Just, getting content out there is really big. Something that you've said, you've told me. It's helped me grow quick. I mean, I had very minimal following and I just every day just release new and new content. Some of it's great, some of it's not, but you just got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I think with content, I think with just hours, just putting in hours on the live and just consistently being live and consistently promoting yourself. Like, look, when you start out, you're just not going to have eyes on you, but you just have to continue to grind and grind and grind and not give up. Put yourself out there, put out content, and just try and do things differently. Try and find a niche for yourself. Like, obviously, you put the title on yourself, you're the king of Bowman. Yeah. And like that, I'm sure started slow, but then people started to realize, okay, I feel like ripping Bowman tonight. I'm going to go over to Daddy Rips. That's where I'm going to rip my Bowman. We at Bullpen, we kind of pride ourselves on we'll rip anything. Like I will rip anything on the live, from Marvel, hockey, soccer, F1, basketball, football, whatever. We'll rip it on our live. Whatever you're looking for, we have it. So I think finding your niche and finding something that, and here's the thing, don't try and go outside of yourself. If you're a big basketball guy, then make that your thing. Basketball's your thing. If you're a big baseball, make baseball your thing. I mean, if you love it and you're knowledgeable about it, that is where you attract viewers. Viewers want to go into a room where they know that the person breaking knows that sport really well and is very, very informative, and you can connect with them because of that.
So that's important because the passion comes out when you know, and I've been trying to get him into the breaking world. I want him on my DR team, okay? Because he's just as passionate. He's fucking funny, says wild shit. It's just right in my alley. And I think you're going that direction. I think you can do well. I think you really need to hone in and really start making connections with everybody here. You really should be. I would be introducing yourself to everybody. That's what I did when I first got into this. I wanted to make sure everyone knew my name. I wanted to make sure everybody knew who the fuck I was and make friends with everybody, make people laugh. I think you're going that direction. I'm glad. I wanted you on. This I've known him since he was a sperm, you know. So I was around when he was in fucking diapers, and now I feel like a fucking big brother to you because I want to fucking just make sure you do the best that you fucking possibly can. I really do. So look at fucking Kyle, look at Rajem man. Theo.
Yeah, what's going on, Rob?
So
what's going on?
Yeah, so thank you for coming by. I appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys. Appreciate
Pull
you guys.
out cards. He doesn't pull out.
Don't pull out, baby. Here you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Of course,
Thank you,
Teddy.
guys.
All right. Who's next? Look at this guy. Yeah, get in here. This guy is a huge
Oh,
hockey fan.
shit.
Huge hockey guy. Huge.
Oh my
All
God!
right.
Look at
All
this
right.
guy.
Introduce yourself. Tell us. Wait. Get the mic on, all right?
Let
Chill
Henny
out.
Get really ready real quick. So what's going on, boys? It's your boy Benny. Garnet Sports Cards, Wax Stock Crackers. Catch me on Instagram. You already know what type of time we're on with my baby boy, my twin Benny, and we got Daddy Rips on over here, baby.
That's right.
Over here.
That's right. Damn, you got three different titles there, huh? Garnett,
The king of AKAs. Definitely the king
AKA,
of AKAs.
AKA towel on the head or
AKA,
shirt on the head.
AKA Fatter Jonah Hill. AKA Loose Skin John Stockton. AKA my shorts look like sweatpants. AKA No Neck. What's good, baby? How you guys doing? How you guys enjoying the National?
It's going good. It's going good. We've been live for an hour and 21 minutes so far. So it's going good. It's chaos. It's controlled chaos in the
What
sense.
you need. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely what you need.
Any pickups?
Some huge ones. We picked up Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson, 9510, 101 auto.
Wow.
Pro Uni,
Wow.
so that was pretty awesome.
That's sweet.
Roberto Clemente, Triple Threads, 101 cut auto, PSA 10.
Damn.
So some
Okay.
big boys. I learned from my baby
I've known this guy forever.
forever.
So I've known you on IG for a long time, and now IG is just like popping off with card collecting.
Yeah.
But back then it was just kind of like it was popular, but it wasn't like it is right now. Talk about being on IG and social media in general, and through the boom, and now to where we are today, and how that's evolved, and your
Absolutely.
experience with it.
So I definitely feel like sports cards definitely have transcended past where a lot of people thought they would be. Let's say if it was 2017, a lot of people think this time would have happened maybe like 2030. I think that's like an accurate timetable. And it was awesome to see the recognition of Hall of Famers. I mean, you remember me and you would pull an Ed Reed auto and it was like, what, $50?
Yeah.
And now things in Hall of Famers and players are finally starting to get, the love that they deserve. I think it was a definite blessing 100% to have kind of it go all the way up, come back down, and now it's back in evening. I think it was something that was definitely needed. I feel like with everyone and their mother grading, like I was the same way, boys. Like I was grading Kobe White's. Kobe White's the GOAT, baby. What do you mean?
If somebody tells you they didn't send in a Prism Okiki or whatever,
Chuma Okiki, baby.
Yeah.
Where's the PJ Washingtons at? Brittany Renner, how you doing, baby girl? What's up?
if anyone's looking for any PSA 9, red, white, and blue, PJ Washington's,
100%.
give me a call, holler at me.
All right. Tell us something. All right. You like to push the envelope a little bit, right? I like to push the envelope.
That's why I love you.
Yeah. Tell us, have you ever got in trouble for pushing the envelope too far?
I actually did.
Okay, tell us that story.
And you know what? I have many stories of that actually, but I will bring it to what happened today.
Uh-oh,
It
today.
might be time to break the internet, boys.
Let's break the internet. We
Now
have 14
listen,
people in here. Let's do it.
Listen, I'm a nobody at the end of the day. It's as simple as that, all right? I love everyone tremendously, and I treat everyone with respect. Do I automatically think that I'm going to be given that? No. Not everyone in this world is going to like you, and that's fine. Be yourself. However, this is what I'm going to say. When you've known, let's say, a show promoter for 6-7 years. And listen, that's when I was like a kid. I'm a kid now. I'm 27. So imagine fat. I was 440. So imagine like a chubbier, fatter Benny than this. This is pretty crazy. So, you know, I had many great conversations, and I never put 2 and 2 together about like who he was. And I'm going to kind of pop it right here. So I was told today, right, with all these different contracts that we've had here and all the different things that have gone on, that, you know, certain people in corporate and Breakers Pavilion, as in the contract, can't sell singles. And that's fine. You know, to change the rules in the first 43 years is fine. But we adapted and we audibled and we kept it positive and tried to find a solution. And we ended up finding the solution, and it still wasn't enough. So here's what we're doing today, boys. Benny might get kicked out of the National because Benny is setting up singles at my booth the way it was meant to be. And we're buying and trading. And if, I don't know, someone named Al doesn't like that, come
Big
see
Al?
me. Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, here's the thing. When
Unfortunately.
I heard about that, listen, everybody should be able to sell singles. The other thing that I've seen around here, a couple of my buddies got kicked off of a showroom floor because they just like sat down right on the edge and they were just kind of like going over some slabs. That's fine. I think there needs to be a spot, like a trade spot, right? I know
Yeah.
they have the ballrooms upstairs. That's cool, but that's like so
needs to
far
be
to
in
walk.
here.
There needs to be like a big carpeted area with just open tables where people can just show up and go, hey, this is our trade spot. Because a lot of people, most of the deals go on post show anyways. A lot of these
100.
guys are just like, I don't want to do a deal at your booth. Like, I'm going to be at the trade spot. I want to make trades. I don't think the Breaker Pavilion, there's no way. One of the best collections are up here. The Breakers have a lot of good collections.
Yes,
Let
sir.
them buy, sell, and trade, because it's only going to bring more people this way. I mean, all the fucking advertisement is at the Breaker Pavilion anyways. They have the biggest Whatnot stage. Whatnot's whole thing is massive. And I don't know, you want to bring traction this way anyway. So let them buy, sell, and trade. I mean, Polwax was notorious for buying. I mean, they are notorious for buying cards,
yeah.
you know? So a lot of these guys are building repacks. Like, you're hurting the repack companies. So I agree with you. There's no way that you should just you can't tell people you can't sell singles over here. You know, I just think that's ridiculous.
And I think also, just to add on to it too, before my love bug chimes in as well, it's just, listen, if the rules are the rules, that's fine. But let's have common courtesy with one another and be able to talk to one another, right? Like, why? Imagine if you didn't know me and I just came over to you and started screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
How is that going to help anybody at this
No.
stage? You know? So that's
No.
just my 2 cents. And I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of change in this hobby, but we'll let Ben chime in on it. What do you think?
I think without the collectors, none of this is happening.
Right.
Without the kids trading cards and doing what they can to move up their collections, none of this is possible. You need to protect the young collectors, especially, and put them in a position where they can feel like they can trade freely and collect freely. And if that means having a space for trading after the show ends every day, where everyone can go there, feel safe, feel like they're secure. And look, if you want to make money out of it, put some vendors in there, food, drinks, like merch. Like, you can make money. Like, I know the National wants to make money. They want to pump out money. There's ways to do that while also securing, like, having these hotel lobbies full of collectors. It's just not ideal. It really is not ideal.
No.
But having a space like the trade night, which was extremely packed last night, unbelievable.
The line
attendance.
was amazingly long.
The line to get in was apparently, I was talking to Jimmy, apparently a half a mile long.
Yeah. It was
To
like
get
a
into trade night last
Lollapalooza
night.
line.
It was to the Hyatt.
Half a mile long to get into trade night.
To get into trade night last night.
Oh my God.
So people want that. They want to be in control of what they're selling and what they're looking at, who they're trading with. So yeah, something needs to be created on a nightly basis.
So that makes
people have
sense
somewhere to go.
because my breaker that I sent to go do trades last night left and came right back.
Oh,
and I was live. I didn't know what happened. So that probably makes sense. He probably was like, fuck this.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
out. Like, I'm not waiting in this line to trade, you know? And like you said, not having like the ability to buy, sell, and trade in the Breakers Pavilion it's
Criminal.
wrong, because a lot of these guys are big buyers, big. and they're bringing a lot of cash. You know, look at how many fucking repack companies the breakers have created. They're bringing a lot of cash. And so you're restricting that fucking. Oh, yeah. Well, no, show it off. Show it off. What is it?
I'm one of those breakers, I feel like now,
Yeah.
but shout out Rips. So basically, what I wanted to do with this, listen, nobody wants to buy a $600 repack and pull a $50 card. You belong in jail. Stop it. Enough. I've had enough of it. Nobody wants to pull
Straight
it.
to jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Isaiah Pete autos don't belong in repacks. I don't care if it's a 1-on-1. Stop it. Enough is enough. You got Benny about to rant, bro. I don't know if
Go
they're ready
for
for
it.
this.
No, dude.
I don't know if they're ready
Listen,
for this.
hey, if you want to unleash the beast on the repacks, I will
Let's run
do it.
Let's run it. All right. Let's
Go.
let's run it. Let's run it as well. Listen,
Listen, Vadim said he signed off on it, so go for it.
Oh,
I'm sorry for
listen,
saying your name,
listen,
but
enough, bro. I cannot stand when people try and be good to one another and it's fake. Listen to me, all right? I'm gonna get a little closer to y'all, all right? Listen, we're gonna chime in real quick, okay? If they're telling you they love you, that's fantastic. But how are they showing it? Simple as that. Why am I paying you $600 to pull a $100 card? Now let's just think about it, right? Oh, that's the luck of the break. Listen, we want to go to Tops, Panini. We can go get Upper Deck Goodwin Champions. I'll pay $600. I'll pull a $5 skier auto. So what are we talking about nowadays? The hobby, I love it to death. You won't have another person love you more than Uncle Benny. That's as simple as that. I'm like Joey Diaz, if you know the comedian, but like 40 years younger. I'm here. I'm in there like swimwear. I've been around. And it's as simple as this. He talks his shit. That's my love bug. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Stop following false prophets. Enough is enough. The amount of people, bro, Card Collector 2 doesn't have a booth here. I want to know the type of stuff he's smoking. Let me know. The show promoter, whoever else, bro, like, I miss the Burkesses. My love and condolences. I love you to death. The amount of time you've put into speaking to me and my father when I was a child, you guys are grand. I love you to death. However, whoever voted that dude in is inept. Y'all are window lickers. Enough.
he's so terrible. Okay,
Time out. I'm getting riled up.
he's
boys.
getting riled. Let him
Listen.
go. I'm just let him go.
How do you all have 6 cards in 19 showcases? You got 6 cards in 19 showcases. Matt Ryan's priced at $5K. What is this? This is 2008. Did Tom Brady just come back from 28-3? I'm mad about it. I'm mad about it. It's less about making money than it is. Stop being rude to people. Use your words. Y'all remember that, like, back in the day, if you were mean to your classmate, the teacher make you sit outside with a stupid fucking hat on? That's what needs to happen. Excuse my language. I don't know. Are we swearing?
You can say whatever the fuck you want.
So it's as simple as that. And I'm riled up about it because how does Card Collector 2 not have a booth? Why is everything such a hassle? Bro, listen, I'm 230 pounds. I lost 260. I'm a little heavier in the middle, but why am I sweating? Why?
Save on money
It's
because of the
90
AC.
degrees in
It is
here.
super hot. There's no way
I
it should be
smell
this
like
hot.
Cheddar Bob.
Listen, I appreciate. Listen, this isn't fucking hate. This is called passion.
Love.
It's called passion, and that's why I get so worked up on things. You know, I don't know if you see my videos when I say when people go, we take those when they're opening a $26,000 flawless box and they're saying we take those on a De'Aaron Fox patch to 25. We don't take those, okay?
No.
So we're relating to the show. We don't take those. The show. We should have AC pumping here all day, 24/7. It should be cool. It should be comfortable.
But Mike, waters are $5.
Yeah, waters are $5. Okay.
Wonder why.
It's absolutely crazy. But listen, now we can talk about it and we can have you fucking go crazy.
I'm gonna go crazy about it because listen, life comes down to dogs, pigs, and sheep. Now, Benny, what do you mean by that? I'll tell you why.
He's
right?
going to tell us
I'm
why.
gonna tell you why. He knows.
Spoiler
why.
alert.
Here we go, baby. You ready? Dogs are loyal. They sit by you, right? And they do what they're told. Now, sheep follow everyone around doing everything that they're told, right? Now, you can say, well, what's the difference between a dog and a sheep? The loyalty. That's the loyalty part of it, right? Now, being unloyal is kind of like sitting around here to your customers or hobbyists and making everything difficult or making it 90 degrees in here. Bro, I feel like I'm in like Calabasas. I should be naked right now. It's humid, but it's less about that than more so about like, listen, be nice to one another. I don't care who you are, what type of cards you got. We're all nerds collecting players that are on cardboard and protective sleeves, and I love it, baby. I love it. I love all of you. It's as simple as that at the end of the day. So be nice to one another, love one another. And I'm not really talking to you guys. I'm just speaking like because I'm passionate. Now listen, why is a show promoter getting in someone's face? Listen, Al, just because you do MMA with Frankie Edgar and you look 60 with horrible prices, listen, stop sending people to talk to people for you. I'm so confused, bro. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'll be honest with you. Literally, they came over so many times. They're like, you're doing it wrong. You're still doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. And I'm like, I guess it's time just to see my daddy and my baby boy and talk about it. Listen, I love all y'all. No more negativity out of Benny. Life is great.
I think our main topic here, and it's been talked about quite a few times, is transparency. I think there needs to be more transparency. I think, yes, these repacks are not going away. They're here to stay. But just be real and make your little bit of money and don't be greedy. I make a living. I make a side hustle, right? I'm a breaker 4 nights a week. That's my living. But my side hustle is buying cards for 75% and selling them for 85%. And I make my 10%.
And if you do enough,
and if you do enough of it and you do the volume, you are so comfortable. Okay? You don't need to be greedy. Everyone needs to make a little bit of money. So the guys I sell to, they got to make a little bit of money, and then a little bit of money more, and then it finally ends up in the hands of someone that will love it and keep it and invest in it
away
and stash it away.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Everyone
brought up the
can win.
repack stuff because I'm very vocal on that shit. I even came out with the I did a video one time with like a shit repack box,
Yes.
and I called it I can't even remember what I called it. And it was like taped together, and I was like, oh, here's our fucking box, come fucking get bent over. And I had people who ran repacks that call it, is this a shot at us?
Oh
I go,
my God,
listen,
the
if you
sensitivity.
know, if you know, you know. There,
Yes.
and I think that's just the thing. It's like being honest with people, I've seen the boxes being open, like you said, $600 box, and they're getting a $50 slab and they're banging it. Oh, there's a great card. It's like you're making your money quick, right? But in the long term, people are going to start figuring it out. People are going to start going, dude, I fucked up. Why did I rip all that stuff? What am I doing? When they go to sell those and they go, well, I spent $30,000 on these repacks and I'm getting cashed out at 10 G's. It's like there's a problem there, So I think it's just like guiding people the right way. Like there's no education anymore. When someone goes, hey, should I rip Select H2 or Select Hobby? Like this year, I'd go, hey, maybe Select H2 because Select Hobby's been kind of dog shit. They loaded more colors. It's like just guiding people. And I know, listen, there's a lot of people out there. They'll just spend their money. They don't care. But the ones that are like barely spending a little bit here and there, where they have a little bit more of a tighter budget, you have to fucking guide those people in the right direction. Because if they fucking leave the hobby, then everybody's going to be fucked. So we have to take care of those people.
I'm snapping. That's straight poetry.
We talked about this earlier. Is being a good breaker is steering your customers in the right direction to their needs, their wants, and their best value. And sometimes, if that, like, obviously we talked about it, like we're salesmen. Like I need to hit my numbers. I make incentives and bonuses and whatnot. Like I have to hit my numbers, but I can get my numbers. I'll find a way to always get my numbers. But I'm not going to do it to take advantage of my customers ever.
I agree with that 100%. And I think the biggest thing too is because, me and you, Ben, were like right around the same time frame when we were breaking on Instagram. I know you remember, and I remember with you. Listen, if you ask me an honest answer about what product's good and bad, listen, I'm pretty blunt, and it's actually kind of nasty and vulgar. I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that's what Ben does too in an even better way. It's like, why not spend this money on a box that you can get? You know what I mean? Like instead of score, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like Panini
Instead of
one.
buying box for
like that.
$1,000, maybe you buy 4 boxes for
Yes.
$250.
Yes.
Have a longer rip, have more fun. And sometimes guys are just like, no, I'd rather go big. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we know the risk. We also know the reward. But yeah, being informative, being transparent is so important and educational in this hobby.
Huge.
Because you have a lot of these guys coming in and they see this shiny new repack and they buy it and then you lose them
because they got
because
burnt.
they're gone. They're gone. So it's extremely important to steer people in the right direction and be informative, transparent.
I appreciate your transparency.
Love you guys.
Hey, I lose people and respect for people. Like I lose people in the hobby because I think I'm too like outspoken sometimes.
I'm
You
the
know,
same way.
you know, people don't like there's people out there that don't like me, you know, because I say these things and then they get butthurt. You know, they're like,
Oh, yeah.
well, you're kind of saying this and it's hurting my bottom dollar. It's like, well, it wouldn't hurt your bottom dollar if you were fucking true with your
And
shit.
be good to people.
Yeah, just be good to people. You know, I'll give you an example. I had a customer who's a big supporter of ours, and he fucking loves me.
Awesome.
He goes, "Hey, are you ripping tonight?" This is 2 nights ago. I go, "Yeah, we're in the Airbnb. Come on by." He comes over. I had a fresh case of Topps Chrome Hobby. Okay, fresh case,
Mhm.
right? 12 boxes. He rips one, right? He goes, "What do I do?" I said, $150. I said, "That's what I'm selling for, $150." I literally told him, I said, "I bought these for $100. I'll show you my invoice," right?
Yeah.
He rips another one. He's handing me money, right? He's like 5, 6 deep now, right?
Right.
So there's 6 boxes up. He goes, this case is shit. I go, yeah, it's probably a shit case.
Most likely.
He goes, how much for the last 6? I said, just give me what I paid. Just give me 600 bucks.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and this guy's got plenty of money. He's got plenty of money. But he ripped those, right? The next day, he comes to the show. He's walking around. He sees all the boxes for 175, 200, 225. He comes up to me. He goes, I can't believe you fucking did that. He goes, you could have made 600 bucks off me. You know, I said, yeah, but that's not the point. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, and listen, does it hurt me, my pocket? Do I not have piles? I don't have piles of cash set up, but he's a lifer. You know what I'm saying? He's a lifer. He even tells me, he goes, I don't even like baseball, but I rip it because I fucking love you. You're the fucking shit, you know? So that's what it's about.
Losing 600 today gains you so much more.
It's like
so much more money. Treating your customers right is so paramount.
Huge.
Make it right. I was talking about it earlier. Like, we give stuff away free all the time.
Yeah, I love it.
If you have a bad break, if your Prism is missing an auto, I'm gonna go find you a fucking auto in the showcase and bring it to you and give it to you. Make it right always. Rooms that just go, oh, we missed 4 Bowman autos in that case. Better luck next time, guys. No, make it right. Always make it right. Treat your customer with respect, and they will always return to you.
100%. And listen, real quick before I leave, along with that breaking situation. Listen, you remember, Benny? You remember all the times I give free boxes away? I'd sell the $300 box, and I'm giving the same box away. Listen, it's how you treat people at the end of the day, and that's why I love. Ben was a regular with me, and I'm known him for 6 years now, and I'm Uncle Benny. I have to stand on a step stool to say and give him a hug because I'm about like an inch over a little person's height.
We're gonna get a picture of Ben lifting me up and holding me like a baby.
Shoulders later. I'm putting them on my shoulders later, so come find us.
Find me. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be slapping on the head like a look it 100%. Listen, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate you so much, bro. That's
really.
real.
Keep
love.
it fucking real all the time.
Real love always, babies. Real love always. And always know Uncle Benny loves you. I love y'all. All right.
Rips. The
$100, baby.
The original.
100. We don't play the $600 game.
And keep it 100.
100 always, baby. I love y'all. Love y'all.
Love it. Yeah. All right. I could have him just as a third person all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He'll be a return guest.
I'm telling you guys, I'm excited.
Oh
my God. Now
goodness.
this guy, I don't know. I haven't tried his bagels because I'm gluten free. That's not true. That's a lie. I say you're gluten free. I have tried the bagels. Wow. Vadim from Bagels and Wax, the Bagel Master.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? This is like a big deal. I'm with 2 of the most important fucking people.
You shut your mouth. You're a pillar of this community, and you know it.
I try to run behind the scenes on the back end.
Oh no, you know all the dark, dirty secrets. You're like the trench coat guy in the parking structure smoking the cigarette. You got the files? I got the files.
I mean, I may or may not know a few secrets in the hobby.
Yeah.
I may or may not know a few people. Fortunately, in 4 years since coming back into the hobby, I've been preaching one thing, and it's led me to the relationships that I have. And the reason the relationships I build and the actual friendships I've made with people are it's all built on one premise. Being a good person is not that fucking difficult. Are we PG rated?
No, you can say whatever you want.
Being a good person.
Would I ever go PG? Listen, if Fanatics Live called me and said, we'll give you $1 million tomorrow, you can't say a curse word, but we'll give you $1 million, I'd tell them, no thanks. I'm good. I'm going to keep it real.
Daddy Rips is PG, pretty grotesque.
So being a good person and being honest and being forthcoming is just, it's very simple. And it's not just for this hobby, it's for any aspect of life. You know, like you and I met, first time we met in person was 2 years ago. 2 years here ago, Chicago, when we were walking around with Phil from Ross Sports. Yes. And then I cockblocked you on a,
This motherfucker, okay, I got to say it real quick. I was doing a deal with Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes goes, I'm limited on cash. And we were like, cash only.
You were there before me. Sorry.
And we were there before you. And we had a monster card. And he's like, I want this card. I want this card. I want this card. Meanwhile, Vadim and Mikey from Pole Wax are in the other fucking corner, like diagonal from us. And Vadim's going over going, we're doing the deal. Looking at me, we're doing the deal. And I'm going, fuck you, you son of a bitch. And I was with one of my biggest supporters. So I was like trying to get money in his pocket. And long story short, Phil Hughes goes over, gives him the cash, him the money, and my guy gets shorted. But anyways, that's where we kind of first really met.
First time met in person, which was funny because the reason we met online was because of a little hobby incident. I'll just sum it up with we're all white, old middle-aged white guys with good-looking wives.
Yep.
We're all in this together.
Very blessed.
And that incident led to us speaking and laughing about it. So much goes on in the hobby. There's so many people and so many new things going on. Benny, who is actually, I am one of the owners of Wax Crackers. You know, it's an amazing company. I have an amazing team. He spoke about some things. The politics of this hobby.
Yeah, let's get into that. Let's get into that because that's something we haven't really touched on today. This hobby can be very high school hallway, right? Gossip. People say things. People lie. Scams. Almost like every month, it seems like there's something going on.
Every month.
Thank you. Every week. Every day.
Every day.
And you kind of spearhead that, like you attack those things and you speak your mind, and I think people appreciate you because of that. So talk about that. Talk about how we can try and, I mean, we'll never really move away from that. It's just human nature, but talk about that and how we can solve that. We can be better than that.
So there's drama. Situations come up, and first of all, mistakes happen, right?
Of course.
And accidents happen. It's about how you handle an incident and a mistake, and about how it's fixed. You know, I've been involved with and on the back end of quite a few companies in this hobby. And I've seen some things where it's very simple. A shipment doesn't make it. It's not the person's fault. It's not the company's fault. But at the end of the day, you have to make it good for your customer and you have to fix it. It sucks, but making good on things. You know, unfortunately, the scams are the hard part. And there are bad people in every business, in every aspect of life. There's bad doctors, there's bad lawyers, there's bad hobby guys. There's, we have a famous guy.
Look at this. This guy coming out of the fucking woods.
Mr. Blez, how are you? So
what's up?
How
you doing, man?
Love
seeing you.
The scams and the bad stuff that go on, it makes it so tough because that's malicious behavior and people targeting other people. So
I think there's also a knee-jerk reaction to a lot of things.
Oh, there's
and I'm not throwing like card porn under the bus, but sometimes like something gets thrown out and it might be misconstrued in some sort of way, and then you know, it's hard. Like you said, it is like it's a lot of men. There are women in the hobby, but there's a lot of men acting like women.
I also think that the term, like when I started in really doing this 2016, like scammer, that was a word that was like, if you're going to use that word, you better be damn sure you're using that word correctly. And now it's just like scammer this, scam this, scam this. It's being very flippantly used lately.
Yeah. And oh, look at that dusty guy right there. Albert from WoW. That guy is on dust.
So I thank you for bringing that up, because there are knee-jerk reactions that lead to more drama. And I always keep it real. I've been on podcasts. There's plenty of times I've said things. I don't care how big the account is. I don't give a shit if you have 10 million followers. I don't give a shit if you have 3 followers. I'm going to call it what it is. You know, people were flipping out about Nat Turner getting a PSA 10 on a card. The guy doesn't fucking sell cards. The fuck are you flipping out about?
Yeah.
Right? You know, and you have a bunch of accounts. You have a bunch of people asking, oh my God, oh, he is the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. Do you think he's going to jeopardize a multi-billion-dollar
No,
company?
not at all.
Or do you not have anything else to fucking talk about?
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. You know, and the reactions, and take a deep breath, do your research. A couple of years, actually last year at this time, there's a journalist who plays in this hobby. Sometimes he wants to play, sometimes he doesn't want to play, sometimes he has cards, sometimes he has tickets, something or other. So he wrote an article about a breaker brand that he thought was getting loaded cases from Panini.
Yeah.
Well, here's the funny part. When I reached out to that journalist who clearly did not do his research, he did not even know how the distributorship chain works or suppliers or anything else. So you are making claims and writing articles on something you don't know about.
Listen, I'll be the first to say it. And everybody was saying that, you know, Backyard was getting loaded cases. Listen, they're live 24/7. They're ripping on obscene. Listen, I say this to people. I say, yeah. Bloods gets loaded. Yeah. Listen, you know what I tell you know what I tell people is this. I said, give me 100 cases of Bowman 2019, and I guarantee I'll hit some fucking nukes if I rip 100 cases in one day. And that's what they're doing. I'm ripping 5 cases to compare to 100 cases. If you rip 100 cases of Select, guess what? You're gonna probably fucking hit the best cards in the set.
This has been going on for years. Okay, there's always a big dog in the hobby that's making the most money, that's opening the most wax. I'm not going to name names, but in 2016, their company started with a P, and then it was this guy, and then it was Leighton, and then it was this guy again, and now it's Backyard. I don't do the volume of these guys.
Hey, we're getting chat on here. We got to get chat on here.
The point is, you open the most wax, you open the most high-end wax. Like even you guys don't do a ton of flawless basketball in NT.
No, they only did one break with like 100 cases.
But like these,
Jared
these guys,
opened like 100 cases,
like
150 cases of Dynasty.
No, but Backyard will move that stuff all day long.
Yeah,
and they're live 36 hours a day, so they're gonna pull the biggest cards. It just is what it is.
That is true because you have multiple platforms live.
You have multiple. They're live 36 hours a day.
If I had, that's what I said. If I had 5 breakers ripping Bowman all day, every day, we pulled the biggest Bowman cards all the time. And people go, "Daddy's got loaded cases. Daddy's got loaded." You know, this is how it is. It's volume.
It's crazy to think, but at the end of the day, you have to let it develop. Get the actual facts before you start talking shit and making up all this, misinformation. Because even if you have 1,000 followers, when misinformation comes out, that shit goes from 1,000 to 100,000 real quick.
Yeah, you're right.
When the good news comes out, it's like, whoa, pump your brakes. Guys, we're playing with pieces of paper with men and women on it. And
well, that's why I always say, like, there was an incident at the Dallas card show, and the guy stole cards, and there was more focus on that than I ever. And I said, why can't we have focus on this? Like, listen, I'm not saying this because we're on right now, but we should have 100 people watching us right now, talking and just talking, and have people want to jump in. But the positivity focus is never ramped up, and people like shit on the positivity, and then it's like, oh, negative, like focus right in on that.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
all right,
positivity in life overall. Listen.
yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
wanna take up all
Yeah,
the time.
Vadim,
I
fucking
really
love you, man.
appreciate you guys.
This
I
guy
love you
sends
guys.
out free bagels to anywhere in the world. Yeah, talk about Bagel Master. Yeah.
So my family and I have owned a bagel store on Long Island since 1990. I have proudly run it for the last 15 years. And I ship packages around the country, even for the gluten-free folks.
You
who
did.
complain.
You went out of your way to get me gluten-free bagels.
You know, but we send packages. It started, you know, as like gift packages for people, and then people knew when they were buying wax from me that they were usually getting some bagels in the package, and people were like, "Wait, this really happens?" I'm like, "Yeah, it happens." You know, but ship nationwide, full appetizing bagels and everything else, and you know, that's it.
Good. All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Vadim.
And we still gotta work on the big hand sandwich.
We
coming to the Bagel Master menu.
we're almost at 2 hours.
2 hours.
It's come pretty quick, right?
Yeah,
What do you
quick.
think? I mean, that first little mishap was.
All right. Our next guest is kind of boring. He's kind of like low key.
I got Seabuzz first. Yeah.
He's kind of a snooze. I don't know. Not really excited.
Chad.
We'll see. Our next guest is a little boring. He's a little
Yeah.
tired.
Our next guest is terrible better.
Yeah, he's a terrible better. He's
Oh,
a
man.
wonderful dancer.
This is probably if you said what is your top 5 people to interview at the National, this guy is definitely on that list.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And his brother might be on there.
Yep.
You know?
And he's just doing deals over there. He'll come over eventually. He's just doing deals over there.
Giving away free blasters to kids too. Their kids light up. They love seeing it.
Yep.
Shout out to Ty. Shout out to Ty.
Ty,
Thank you,
can
Ty.
you come just say hello to
Appreciate.
the people?
Hello to the people.
I appreciate you allowing us to do this.
I am so happy that you're doing it. How's it going?
It's going great.
We're at 2 hours.
That's amazing.
We're at 2
pretty good.
hours, yeah.
I love it.
We had I think we had
sweaty. I
peak.
just found the
You are so warm.
There's an
You doing
area
a deal?
over there that's like when you walk through, it's like 20 degrees hotter than here.
Oh, really?
All right, hold on. I'm gonna have them on then real quick. If we, to
All right.
Come on in, boys.
Keep up the good
Come on
work.
in.
Thank you.
Let's do it. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, we have 2 special guests here. All right, we said. Yeah, I got you. All right, here we go. This is what it's all about right here. Look at this. All right, first of all, tell us your name.
Brock. I'm Connor.
Brock and Kyle. Okay, Connor. Okay, my bad.
Connor, okay.
Just speak up a little bit. It's super loud. Okay.
Who's got a
What?
big voice?
Yeah, you. Brock and Connor. Okay. What are you doing here at the National?
It's our first card show, so we're just, exploring and experiencing the hobby. Pretty much the same thing. We're kind of just looking around because it's our first day here. Yeah.
What? Okay, that's first show.
First
this
show
this
vibes.
is big for
First show vibes.
This is like a mediocre show is like a 10th of the size, right? Like this is huge. Are you guys overwhelmed?
Yeah. It's very busy, especially at the start.
It's getting better now, though, right?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
we're seeing more.
What cards do you like to buy or rip or sell or trade?
Mainly football and a little bit of basketball. Same thing, mainly football.
Football and basketball.
Okay, let's go football. Favorite player, football.
Megatron.
I love that
Whoa.
answer. I was fully expecting you to
I
say
was-
Justin Herbert.
I was gonna say
Patrick
Josh Allen, Mahomes.
Megatron.
This
I
guy
love that
goes
answer.
Megatron.
All right, how about you? Favorite football?
T-Law.
T-Law. Okay,
T-Law.
I respect
now
that.
basketball.
So right now, probably Luca, but before the whole bad stuff, John Moran.
Okay. All right.
What was
John
his name?
Morant. John Morant.
Okay.
yeah.
Cade Cunningham.
Cunningham. I'm like still kind of blown away about the Megatron answer. That's like way before your time.
Yeah.
You know, the guy retired, what, 8 years ago already?
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
a long time.
Yeah.
You know, he was probably top 5 wide receiver of all time. What do you think? Top 3?
Oh, yeah, I put him in my top 3.
Top 3?
He hung it up just like Barry did. Sorry, Lions fans, by
Yeah.
the way.
How did you guys get into like this hobby? Family, friends? Was it your parents? What was it?
So I went in my dad's basement in the storage room and I found a ton of his old sports cards, and that just got me into it.
That's pretty cool.
I kind of learned off of him because he got into cards and I decided to try it out, and now I'm here.
And you guys support each other? Do you guys trade and do all that stuff together? Right on, right on.
Where are you guys from?
Michigan, Port Huron. Michigan.
Oh, okay. I'm a Tom Brady fan. Okay. Tom Brady went to Michigan. Okay.
Yeah, that was how you first started collecting.
That's how I first started collecting. That was the first card I ever bought was Tom Brady. In a Michigan uniform. You guys don't like Michigan, or you don't like Brady? State.
Oh, wow.
State,
There's
really?
a
Wow.
growing rivalry here.
That's interesting because like are you guys best friends? Okay. When I grew up with my best friend, we liked the same team. There was no like quarry on teams. So you don't like Brady or
No.
wow. I'm really hurt. I'm kind of hurt because that's like he's like my favorite player.
Do you guys are you guys watching college and following guys to the pros? Are you following any guys? Are you going to collect any guys that are coming out?
Yeah. I like Aiden Hutchinson, even though he's from Michigan. I feel like, and he's a Lion now. Yeah. He's a good young player.
Any Michigan guys you've collected that have made it to the pros and are starting to get cards coming out?
Mostly Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, not
I
many.
feel like he's like he's got to be like
he's a beast,
like a pinnacle for you guys, right? He's got to be like an icon in
Yeah,
that area,
he's a
right?
beast.
Everybody loves Aiden.
Yeah, I like Amon-Ra St. Brown too. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, you got to love Amon-Ra, right? He is a special.
Especially
love
his
J-Mo.
play style. He's kind of like a slap, but
Oh yeah, he's got the swag, right? The swag is everything, right? In this day, you guys play sports?
football and basketball. Basketball, a little bit of tennis, and then I used to play football.
Tennis is a workout, by the way.
Yeah.
Tennis is a real workout.
Yep.
I mean, you're young, so it doesn't affect you. But a guy like me, I'm 36 years old. I'd be sweating all over the place. So, what is your goal at the show? Like, is there like a card that you're like, you know what? I want to find a T-Law gold or a T-Law green to 5 or a black 101. Is there a card that you want?
Again, we're just exploring first card show, so not really. I'm probably gonna look to trade or buy it.
All right, same question. What are you looking for at the show?
I'm mostly looking for a higher end Jalen Hurts, but some T-Laws in there. And then
Jalen Hurts.
Giddy.
Jalen Hurts.
That is sweet. Are you guys having fun? Yeah, you having
Yeah.
fun? It's legs hurt from walking around, getting tired. What day is this for you? Second day? First day.
So this is the first day of your first show. That's incredible.
And your first interview.
And your first
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
first true interview. It's fun. We've been asked questions, but not really.
This is awesome. This is why we do it right here.
Yep.
Because of you guys. It's why we give away cards. It's why we do content. This is why we break. We love. I have 2 daughters. I have daughters that are your guys' age. So that's why when they said bring you guys on, I was like 100%. I want to bring you guys on. Thank you for coming by. I think I want you guys to have fun. Go find a big card, and if you find a big card, come back and show us it off. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you
by.
guys.
Yeah.
And thank your parents immensely for this.
Thank
for
you,
this
bud.
Week.
Thanks for coming by, bud. Yeah. Thank your moms.
Thank your
Thank
moms.
Yeah.
Thank your moms.
Yeah. Give your mom a massage tonight.
Yes.
Okay. She's walking around just as much as you guys are. Okay.
Yep.
The moms need massages. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
That's what it's about. Meech. Look what Meech just brought us.
Oh, hi. Very nice. Nice.
I can't believe he dropped Megatron on us.
Megatron was a awesome answer.
I
for a
don't
kid
even
that
think
age.
I don't think he was born when
No.
Megatron retired.
No.
Right?
No.
I don't know. How long
was
has
a
it been
great
since
answer.
Megatron? Let's see it. What is it? What'd you get? This guy stinks. You and your fucking Philly guys. Oh yeah? All right. We're over 2 hours. This has been fun. Anybody else? Oh yeah, where's Chad at? Where'd Seabuzz go? Oh, Chad. Get Chad. Let's get Seabuzz in here. We might have to end on Seabuzz. It's been fun. It's been a lot. This has been
Yeah.
Tell him.
We had some other people lined up, but we
It
knew
gets
we knew a
busy.
lot of these guys were
Yeah.
going.
I knew these guys weren't going to show up.
It's a hectic week. Everyone's being pulled every which way.
Yeah, I knew some of these guys were not showing up, but it's all right. I get it. If someone asked me to, hey, I need you here by this time, I'd be like, dude, I don't even know what I'm going to be
This,
wearing.
you
that
and
day.
I imagine it being bigger, badder, sexier next national.
Yeah. If we could start building it up
Yeah.
and promoting it, maybe we have a full-fledged studio booth next year
That'd be
where
ideal.
it's quiet,
And
intimate.
I know we haven't been addressing the chat too much, but thank everyone for hanging out with
Zach,
us.
it is hot. It is
It
hot
is
as hell.
extremely hot. It's extremely hot.
Everybody is sweating. Everybody stinks. Even if you have deodorant on, I stink right now.
The smells emanating from trade night last night. I can't explain it in
You
words.
can bottle it up and sell it
Yep.
to. Hey, Logan.
There
Here,
he
hey,
is.
after Seabuzz. Yeah.
There he is.
Here he is.
Everyone's favorite.
My favorite people in the hobby.
You're my favorite.
One of my favorite people in the hobby. Top 5 people that I would want to interview.
Top 5 is supposed to be top 1.
Well,
top 5.
It just depends. Listen, if Jared
give
came
you-
on and started showing his nipples, I got to put him
I give
above you.
Seablez.
He's going.
I give Seablez an 8.6 out of 10. But that's a good score.
No, listen, we haven't
That's
trouble
an
with
inside joke.
That's
an inside joke. Only me and him. It's an inside joke.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. This has been great. We're over 2 hours live. We got a lot of interviews. We got a lot of content to pump out. It's been fun.
The question is, how can it be a bad time?
Exactly. Because
It's-
why?
It's impossible. I
Because
think.
the hobby is
alive.
The hobby is alive.
Let's dive right into some controversial topics
Yeah,
because
let's do
I know you love that.
I love
Seeing your recent content.
Let me lead up with this. Some people love you. Some people hate you. But they can't keep your name out of their mouth. Is that your goal? Is that your goal? I know everyone says like any press is good press. Like, are you a believer in that? Just eyes on your page is paramount and that's it for you?
I don't really know like about PR, media, all that stuff. I'm just a cart guy. I just say what I think. And the thing is, I feel like sometimes my opinion can be different than the public or the masses. So that's why people can hate on it. But I'm really just saying what I truly feel because I've been in the hobby for 20 years and I see it differently than I think than some people. So I'm not trying to like get views or anything. I'm more just trying to say what I actually think. Like I said, you want to buy, if a guy has a lot of vintage cards and he has a few modern, people were hating on it, but there's no way he knows as much about 10% of his whole stack. So I said, you want to go buy stuff like that. People are hating on it, but that's just the way I truly feel. And everyone knows I'm not afraid to say something. And I know you too.
Yeah.
And you too. We don't say stuff that we don't believe in. And that's, I think, the most important thing.
And I don't think listen, I tell people all the time when they come in my live and there's people that'll talk shit on you and your brothers. And I tell them, I said, listen, guys, they don't give a fuck. You can say whatever you want to them. Chad's not putting out content for you to consume. He's putting out content because he thinks it's good and it's funny and he's having a good time, just like your brother. That's why I always give your brother shit. I said, hey, if you come on the show with us, I want to see your pepperonis, because the pepperoni sell. But that's why I love about you, because you don't go after the trolls, right? It's hard for me. I want to repost and tag them and do a funny video and throw them under the bus.
But that's what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't give them what they want. That's the problem. All the hater, all the trolls. It's like, honestly, 3-4 years ago when I was like, I've been doing content for like 6 years, 7 years. 2 years in, I did have a time where it did get to me, and I got off social media completely for like 4 months. But then I realized it's like you have to actually take a step back and see what's going on here. They're just sitting there at home, probably jealous of you. They want to be like you.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't give them what they want and reply to the trolls because you agree, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, negativity is bred from jealousy. It always will be. Social media gives people a platform that they in their normal lives they don't have. So that's their way of projecting their negativity on others. That's just how it is. And that's never going away. At Bullpen, we get hammered in comments. I could care less. You don't like me, but you're watching me. You don't like me, but you're reading my posts. So do you really not like me? Really?
I do think, though, like, we do need both sides of it. A lot of people in the hobby do make positive only content, and I know you don't, but eventually this hobby is so big. Every angle is going to get covered. And right now we're early, so not every angle is covered. But I think all these different pockets and niches within the content, I'm not saying I like the negativity, but I'm saying someone's going to do it. So I don't really hate on the people who do put out stuff that might not be in line with the masses, because I respect people who try to grow the hobby, and all angles, I think, do it. It's not just the positive stuff, because a lot of times people aren't going to believe that it's fully there's always both sides of the coin in anything in life. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. So I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I think you, the only one of the most people in the hobby, you are way misunderstood and how you come across. Yeah. And I tell people in private, I go, listen, when I hear somebody that says something negative about you, I go, listen, I've fucking talked to Chad in person. I've had conversations with him with no cameras rolling, and you genuinely have passion, which is I love. When we did our interview in Del Mar, the camera was off, and you literally looked at me and go, like, how do you feel about the state of the hobby? Like, what can we do different? How can we be better? And I think that's fucking important. And I want you to touch on that. And secondly, I have this theory. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm going to tell you a crazy theory I have. You're so good with your content. You don't need to break.
I appreciate
No,
that.
you're fucking great with the content. And I tell people all the time, they go, well, they talk about you. And I go, listen, I think Jared came along and he took the leash off you and said, you're not a breaker anymore. Go fucking make your content. Go travel the world. Go meet with people. Go do these interviews, because that's your spot. Like, you're a great breaker, but you're better off doing those videos because it soaks up all the fucking eyes and the views, and then you can have Jared and your other brother do all the breaks and handle that stuff. And I think that was smart. I don't know if that was my conspiracy. I was like, I got a theory. I think Jared fucking told Chad, you're fucking like, yeah, you're no more breaker. You're not breaking anymore. You do those videos and keep slamming those away because it's free marketing for you, and you're not doing anything but just being yourself.
I mean, for me, I do love breaking sports cards more than anything in the world, and I'm sure he knows that. And I just think that you got to cover all bases. If you look at Blaze, we have a lot of great breakers. It's not just me. We have a lot of talent in the room, and Hobby Hawk's a great breaker. We got Damon. But I just think that I will 100% be back to breaking sports cards at some point. I'm 27. There's nothing more I love doing than opening a box of cards. It's literally just that simple. And I think that, yeah, I mean, Jared covers an angle. I cover an angle. I mean, we'll see what happens. What was the first part of the question? I forgot.
I don't even know. I asked you if that was something that you guys talked about. Was it something where Jared was like, hey, man, you need to fucking go into
I mean, he knows the story. You know. It wasn't. It's more of like, just do everything you can.
Yeah.
It's more of like, if I'm breaking or someone else is breaking, it's people want to see me, but that we want to spring up other people too.
And for anyone that thinks that like this guy, when he gets on these,
wait. I was gonna say, I know where you're gonna go with this. The passion.
Yeah. It's real. It's not fake. Like what he does in his videos, the craziness, like that's him. He's not creating a character. He's not like walking around talking like this. He flips on the camera. Oh, here I am. No, it's all real. It's all genuine. He loves the hobby. We both love the hobby. So yeah, the negativity is just like ridiculous to me. Like we should be lifting up people that love this industry as much as this guy does.
Yeah.
Like the negativity just it blows my mind. It makes no sense.
The thing is, the content game has only been around for, let's say, like 5 years, right? With the content. I've been in the hobby for 20. You've been in the hobby for over 20. I don't know.
I started collecting cards in 1999.
Exactly. So the content comes in like 2017, 2018, and people think that we started from there. That's the thing, because they don't see the old YouTube videos putting out on the Esplez channel from 2011. I was making videos with my brother. So if you want to go see the passion, if you don't believe it, go watch me when I'm 8 years old, 10 years old, opening boxes and going crazy.
I tell people all the time, like I was ripping boxes. The biggest year that I collected was 2001. I was chasing Michael Vick, LT, Drew Brees, Chad Johnson, Kevon Barlow. I can go on for days. Fucking Kevon Barlow. I lost my ass with Kevon Barlow.
Shout out to Barlow, baby.
Kevon Barlow. Thought he was going to be the next Garrison Hurst. Definitely wasn't. But anyways, like I tell people, like back then, I would rip a box and I would never sell. I would never sell. I hoarded and hoarded. And someone's like, oh, I'll trade you for that card. I'd be like, fuck, no, I ain't trading that card. I just pulled that out of a Fleer Legacy box, you know? So I think it's like people just need to understand that like there are people that have put on a facade in the hobby.
There's characters.
Yeah, there's a character.
We don't play characters.
Yeah, like
people do though.
People say it to me, they're like, "Oh, you play a character when you're live." I'm like, "No." Like, ask my wife. I say the same wild shit in real life.
The fact that you're doing like a lot more speaking content, I think people can now notice that more.
Yeah,
which is really good for you. People can see your true, genuine self because your content is parallel to the way you break. It's very open and free. Say whatever you think. And I respect that a lot about you.
I appreciate that. I mean, it's hurt me in the long run because, you know, I've been banned on Instagram 7 times. I've been shadow banned. I can't go live for more than an hour. And those things has hurt me. And people told me like, you should just conform and not be. And I go, no, because then I'm actually playing a character. I have to play a character.
That's not you at that point.
Then it's not me. So I think that's important. And
what do the people want us? What's a good topic? What should we say? What should we talk about?
I think we've been talking a lot about content and the
let's switch
evolution
it
of
up.
content. I mean, you were talking to me about like how content's become a little stale. You know, it's like money down on the showcase. Here's me bargaining and dealing with someone at a show. Here's me walking through an airport. It's like, okay, we need something new. We need something fresh. And we were talking about more scripted content. So talk about that.
I just feel like a lot of people copy people. There's not much original content in the industry.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, it's tough to come up with new ideas continuously every day. But I think the $50,000 buying at a card show, people are just trying to put the biggest amount of money in a title that they can. And they're trying to one-up each other. Exactly. And that's not, I don't know if it leads us down the best path to grow the hobby, because you're only providing content to one type of audience when you do that. A lot of new people come in, they tell me, I'm intimidated seeing these numbers because I want to come in and buy a $50 card, but all the content that I'm seeing is people buying $20K, $50K. So how can someone who's new to the hobby relate to that? That's the problem.
I'll tell you how they relate to it. It doesn't always have to be about cards, right?
That's where I do a lot of stuff.
I talk a lot of stuff on my podcast about mental health and how people are dealing with gambling issues and drinking issues and all these things that are important issues. And I've gotten more feedback from my podcast that go, dude, we love the hobby stuff. That's great. But, you know, you talked about going through life struggles and gambling addiction. And he's like, and that hits home. And that's where guys will reach out to me and be like, you're right. Like, you know, we need to talk more about this stuff. And listen, everybody in this room is dealing with something. Everybody's going through something, whether it's mental health, whether it's gambling, whether it's drinking, whether it's a family member just passed away, whether they're dealing with illnesses in their life. Everybody's going through something. So I think when you can relate to people and you can speak to them on their level, you're very big in the hobby. So if people look at you and they go, oh, like C-Buzz has it all. He's perfect. And but if you came out and be like, hey, I'm dealing with this, or whatever. And then they go, oh, you're just a fucking guy. You're just a dude, like just a normal guy,
I have thought about doing it, and I've talked about mental health a little bit, but I think that, like me, when I talk about it, I go through ups and downs just like everyone else. But like when you talk about stuff, it's a little painful sometimes when you don't have someone that you can talk to, because it's just like, I don't understand in life, like why we all have problems, like you just said, but no one talks about them. We talk about all this other stuff that we want to show, buying a bag or spending money, or you know what I'm saying? We want to be flashy, but we all have problems and no one talks about it. My mind is just like baffled. It doesn't make sense to me, because someone, I can't explain it, but
it's like, and what they do is people use the internet and social media to put on like a fake life, right? Like
that hurts every human being, because people sitting at home, I want to be like that, and that person's not even like that, because they're just putting on a front. And then it's like you're chasing something that's not even reality. And that's something that frustrates me a lot, because I'm looking to relate to someone who has the same issues that I have, and it's sometimes I feels like I'm on an island or something.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. I think more people, we don't talk about the mental health awareness and all that stuff that goes on. Everybody, what's up, dude? Hey, come on by.
Especially in this industry, because the history of this industry, I'm a part of it too. It's like, there's ups and downs. Everyone goes through it. We just need to be like more welcoming with everything.
Yeah, I mean, look, people don't like to be vulnerable. People don't like to seem weak. People don't want to talk about what's really going on because it's painful. Like, that's life. That's welcome to life. Everyone deals with it.
But don't people want help? That's what I don't I feel like talking to
It is
people
hard.
helps the situation.
It is, yes, but it is very hard for some people to ask for help, because then they're needing help. And when someone feels like they need help, they're less of a person. It's very complicated. It's very deep. But yes, I think real problems should be talked about in the hobby. This community is so large, and there are so many people from different walks of life that can help. It's not always about cards. It's not always about money. It's not always about breaking. It's not always about content that's about cards and money and breaking. Okay? The community should help each other out. Okay? I have so many people in the hobby that come from different walks of life that have helped me out with all sorts of things that I've had going on. I like stuff to do with my kids, stuff to do with school, questions about like buying a new car, like all this stuff. Like, I have people that I just shout out on the live, and they're like, yeah, they send me a DM right away. There are a ton of people out there that can also help you with what you're going through: money problems, gambling issues, lack of sleep, debt. There's a lot of stuff that goes hand in hand with this industry. And if you're having any problems with that, ask for help. Ask for help. It's really simple to ask for help.
I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say something about me? Is that okay?
Yeah, do it.
I have a depression, ups and downs that I go through. Sometimes I don't want to go outside my room because there's just a lot going on, and it's a lot of it's mental.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we're in a rut as a human being, it's so hard to see what's like to get out of it. It's hard to see the good in life when you're like down. So I'm trying to figure out a way to like make that better, because I go through a lot of ups and downs. I don't show it that much, but it's just everyone's going through something. I feel like the community, people do a good job of helping out others, but it's not enough. It's really not enough. I think, like, I've talked to Pull Wax about some of my ups and downs. We had a nice dinner where I would say a lot of the times the social interaction at the beginning for me is very tough. And I don't mean to be like, sometimes people think I'm mean or come off as cold, but a guy like Krupp, he knows me very well. So do you. once I get to know someone, it's a lot different. I just want to be friends with. If you're in the hobby, I want to like talk to you and be friends. And I have trouble sometimes at the initial going up to someone and introducing myself. It can be difficult, but that's something I'm working on. And I just wanted to say like something that I deal with.
That's something it's hard to say. You know, I had a podcast, I called it Health is Wealth. And I opened up, I almost started fucking bawling on the episode because I talked about my daughter with her disability. I talk about my gambling addiction. I talk about my drinking addiction. I talk about all these things. And I tell people, and they're like, everybody's so scared to open up. And guess what? When you start opening up, other people are going to go, I can relate. I have similar issues. How do we get through this? You don't know how many people DM me. They go, dude, I was suicidal 2 years ago, and your lives like kept me alive. Like that's this kind of shit. I'm like, holy hell, I can't even put that in. I can't even fathom that somebody could say that to me, and they're like, hey, watching your lives through this time in my life like saved my life, because it eliminated my thought of what I was going through, and I was just in the moment on your lives. And so it is hard to talk about because a lot of people, like you said, everybody's going through something. Okay. And if you don't talk about it, it gets bottled up. And sooner or later, that shit comes out. It explodes. And it's either going to come out in some sort of anger way, and you might come off as a dick, and then people don't know. And like, you know, social anxiety is tough. You know, my business partner, Sleevey, it's not even here. He hates crowds. It's social anxiety. He clams up, and I get it. I'm like, dude, just stay at home, relax. Like, don't worry. You know, you don't have to come here, you know?
Yeah, I think that I just had something and I forgot, but yeah, when we say our issues, we want the person on the other side to be welcoming and warm. And a lot of the times I feel like I talk to my friends, it's scary because you don't know how they're going to react. That's the thing. If I tell someone like a deep issue and they react and I don't like the reaction, that's going to make me feel really, really bad. So I think that's part of the reason why people are afraid to say it, because they're scared of what someone else is going to think. I'm guilty of it. I'm sure a lot of people are guilty of it. But you want the person, when you're saying something, to be warm, or else you're not going to tell them something deep again. And I feel like that shuts out people. That's something that I've noticed.
I'm going to piggyback off this real quick. One of the okay, this is one thing. I'm going to segue into something that I've been wanting to do for years, but it's so hard to do because I am small, as you know. I am like a one person. I've been wanting to do charity events for a long time, and my goal is to get a hobby golf tournament, a massive hobby golf tournament, to raise money, whatever foundation we can find, where we basically bring the entire Breaker Pavilion and collectors, and we do a massive golf tournament. We raise a ton of money. It's a lot of fun. It's awareness. It brings everybody gets to get showcased, and we raise money for good causes. And I that's my end goal. So I want to be able to use my platform to fucking give back and to people that are struggling. People are dealing with things. They're stressed out. They're depressed. They have depression. And they don't know how to fucking deal with it because they're afraid that somebody is you tell them that, and they're like, you're a fucking weirdo. And they're afraid of that reaction. And then they go deeper into depression. So it's I think
they go deeper at that point. Then they go deeper, and then it's like, how do you get out of it? And then you also have people who help people, like doctors and stuff. A lot of them, it's their business. I feel like a lot of doctors, sometimes they don't want to prevent the problems. They want to treat the problem. So it's like, I don't know where you go to get the help. It's got to be some type of friend, a girlfriend, or something like that. But
there are avenues you can find. You have to just look for them. But there are avenues that you can find to get help. And I think your closest friends are always a phone call away. Your closest friends. Like if you ever want to call me up, you can call me up any time of the night. Lord knows I stay up late.
Listen, Chad, first of all, you should wake up every morning and get the fuck out of that room, because you're special. You're fucking special in the hobby. Everybody knows it. Anybody who says otherwise, they're fucking losers. Okay, they're keyboard basement dwelling losers. They're just on their keyboard. They have nothing else to do. but just troll people, and they want to make you feel bad. They want to fucking bring people down because they're down, right? They don't have people around them that support them. So, you know what?
The thing is, though, like, back in the day, like, I just have this stigma in my head because the hobby is so cool now. And 10 years ago, it wasn't perceived as cool. And I've been in the hobby my whole life, and I never left. So it's like I still have this thing in my head where it's like, the people think I'm like weird for collecting cards, but it's like I know it's cool now. So it's kind of like my head goes back and forth because it used to be like less cool, and now it's so cool. So you speak on that.
But I just think you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care. I think you honestly.
But I care about the hobby so deeply, and the overall, like, that's the thing. I do care because I care about the hobby. That's the thing.
You just need to keep doing what you're doing. Hit the gas, don't hit the brakes. Like, do what makes you happy. And if you're doing what makes you happy and you're doing well for yourself, like, that's life. That's what we all chase. We all chase that, and you have it. Just keep driving.
That is the main thing that does drive me. It's passion and happiness over money.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I have millions of dollars, but I've done well for myself in the past few years. I'm not pressing to make a ton of money this second. Luka Doncic cards, I made a ton of money with them. So I'm making money still, but I'd rather make less and live out my passions.
And I think you need to talk about this stuff more because, like, there are people out there that are looking for someone to kind of give them an opportunity to realize that they can go out there and find help and talk about their issues. And you have created such a huge platform for yourself that you have a stage now where you can help a lot of other people by saying what you just did and opening up.
Not a lot of people are gonna do that, you know.
But I have a question for you guys. Is it, if I speak on my experiences, that's what I usually do with all my content. I think that's okay. But I don't want to talk to someone who's like struggling and then it's like bad for them or something.
No, because I think if you showed any vulnerability, people are gonna look at you and go, "Oh, I can relate to that. Like I have vulnerability. I don't have anybody to talk to. You know, maybe Chad doesn't have anybody to talk to. You know, maybe he feels secluded."
No, that's the
and cut
thing.
off.
Everyone thinks it's like they're coming up to me at the show, Seablez, whatever. But sometimes I feel very lonely. I do, and it's like, it's just, I think, I don't know. I mean, that's why I don't leave the house, because it's like I feel so alone, and it's like,
yeah,
you don't know, like, it's hard. I don't talk about it much either, so it's hard to like put it into
Convey
words.
it. Yeah, it's hard to convey it. And I think, dude, you saying that shit is fucking big, because, like I said, I have a lot of customers that come to me and they go, "Dude, your last podcast, I can relate. I feel like I need to talk about it more often. I think I need to, get it out there." And I think that's important, especially in men. Okay, we all know women. They have they show their emotions, and they're very strong, and they're strong mentally. Us men, listen, dude, we're taught to bottle that shit up. Be a fucking man. Bottle that up. Don't fucking show emotions. Don't be a pussy. That's the fucking line. Don't be a pussy. And then you get somebody who may not fucking be able to handle that pressure, and then they can't talk to somebody, and then they open up, and that person goes, "Hey, stop being a fucking pussy. Go to work. You
That's
have a
what I'm
great
saying.
life."
The person that you think is gonna be nice and genuine, and then they say that.
Yeah.
Then
and
how do you feel?
Then you go. Then it puts you in a rut. But you know what? Then you know what? Fuck that person, Chad. That person doesn't like you. That other person doesn't care about you. Open up and talk about
Yeah,
it.
but what if it's someone close? That's the thing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Someone close, I could talk to them and they're gonna say, "What's up, Elijah?" Check out Elijah Sports Cards on Instagram. He's 10 years old. The kid's got talent.
Is that like a mini Seabless walking around?
I think he's gonna.
Is he gonna be better?
Yeah. No, but seriously, it's like,
yeah,
you just gotta. I think as a community, we need to be willing to listen to people, and opening up is something that we should push, because everyone goes through the ups and downs, and it's just people want to talk about it, and people want to feel relatable to others. I think
that is one of the biggest things that I try to do and accomplish on my podcast. Because when I first started, everyone's like, what are you going to talk about? Is it going to be the hobby? Is it going to be, and I was like, I'm going to do everything, because guess what? I'm just a fucking regular guy. I have a family and kids that I got to protect and raise and make sure they're fed and make sure they're happy and make sure that I have a roof over their head. And if I sit there and I just talk about the hobby the whole time and, oh, what's the market doing? And, oh, what are this car doing? I just feel like it would be fake. You know, I go on, I don't have fucking notes. I go on, I go, what's going on in my head?
I love nights when I'm breaking. I love like when there's a little lull in the action and we're just talking about life, family, what's
It's
going on.
not done enough as much
It's
as it
not.
used to be.
No,
when it's not done
because
enough.
back in the day there was a ton of dead time. You were waiting for stuff to fill. Boxes weren't moving that fast. Now it's so fast paced that when you go live, get regular, you're not really shooting the shit that often, right? You're breaking wax, you're opening boxes. But those are some of my favorite moments every night, is being real with people and talking about my life and my kids and like dad shit that I get in. Because I'm always making mistakes, and my kids, or my wife's on my ass because I'm just like, you know, anyways. But like, yeah,
that stuff is better to talk about
because
it's better.
can
You remember
relate.
it more.
People can relate. It's memorable. So yes, opening up and talking about it. I love that you have talked about this stuff.
Of course.
It's really important. I think a lot of men, like you were saying, don't want to talk about these things because they're seen as weakness, when actually
It's
talking
strength.
about it is
It's
strength.
strength.
Weakness, no. Strength, yes. Talk about how you're feeling. Talk about what you're going through. Because guess what? Your best broski that you fucking fist pound and talk about sports with, he's going through the same shit you're going through. And until you talk about it, he won't talk about it. But you'd be amazed how much similarity there is about stuff that you're going through.
Chad,
Should
you're a
we,
legend.
should we talk about another? Should we keep going?
What do you want to talk about? Dude, I'd
A little
have you on.
cards? A little cards?
I'd have, yeah. You want to talk about the actual hobby?
A little bit of
No,
cards.
it's great. Hey, listen, that stuff. Listen, look at Tim. This is groundbreaking content. You know, that's
exactly.
I'm
No
tell-
one's talking about this stuff.
Let's talk about cards, though. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about some cards.
Is there any player that you're specifically like, if you see a card, you get a little chubbed up over?
Honestly, I like Trey Murphy on the Pelicans. I haven't bought
Wow.
that much of him yet. I don't really have anything, but I think he could be a really good player.
Yeah.
I like him.
Okay.
What about you guys?
I'm looking for James Wood
On the Padres.
on the Nationals.
They traded him?
No, but his first Bowman. Bowman.
First
was-
Bowman, he's
first Bowman is
Padres.
Padres. He's on the Nationals now.
My friend has a red of him.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I just came in my pants.
What's your best one?
I'm currently going into James
Buying
Wood.
him.
Yes,
You're buying him.
James Wood, if you guys look at his stats, look at his stature, look the way he plays. He's just like Ellie. He can hit farther home runs than Ellie. He's just as fast as Ellie. And he's on a team that's going to give him a chance. And the Nationals might even bring him up later into the year just to see what he can do. And I think he's someone that if you want to make money, buy him now. Buy him now. If you want to make money, if you want to flip him, you can make money.
I think Ellie's kind of showed how ridiculous it can get, right? So there's kind of a false perception of like that's probably not going to happen again. It's kind of one of those 5-year things.
Yeah, stealing 3 bags in
Yeah, and base 10s going for like $300. Like that's crazy, folks. That's
That's
crazy.
like 2020.
Yeah. But yeah, I like James Wood. I like Pete Crow Armstrong. But yeah, I've gotten really into Bowman over just like the last 3 to 4 years because I've just relate to like the investing aspect of it and sitting on guys and prospecting and finding a guy that you really like, especially in Bowman, because you can find guys super, super cheap and really build a rainbow in a collection for nothing.
$10 refractor.
Yes, exactly. So if there's a guy you're passionate about, especially a home team guy that hopefully stay through your home team, like you can attack that rainbow super cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that aspect about Bowman.
You guys are saying names that are super deep to most people. I don't think the casual fan knows James Wood or Pete Crow Armstrong, but I think it's good to talk about names like that because we see most people in the hobby talking about Trevor Lawrence, Jordan, LeBron, Trout.
Well, no, you missed it. One of the best moments we had earlier today, we had these two kids on. This kid was maybe 10 years old. 10 years old. I asked, like, who's your favorite player? He goes, Megatron. I was like, that is
Respect.
Yeah.
'Cause he's doing his due diligence, watching YouTube videos and seeing how
Yeah.
good Megatron truly was.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a nib. I'll call it a little nib. All right. Kobe Mayo. The Orioles, he's in AAA. Go buy a Kobe. They're so cheap. He's probably going to be called up right before the playoffs, and everyone's going to go bananas. I think you can get his True Blue PSA 10s for like $500. Go get them.
You should bet on the Orioles to win the World Series.
I
this
have
year
Orioles and
next year.
Braves.
Exactly. Because they're so good anyway. If you think Colby Mayo is going to be good,
They got plenty of guys in that.
they're loaded.
System. They actually have the right pieces for Ohtani, but Ohtani won't go there. They have the pieces. They have amazing.
The thing is,
pieces.
the Angels, I think they've won like 7 or 8 in a row, or maybe like 7 out of 8. So the Angels they're at 54 and 49. I was looking at it yesterday. They're actually in the playoff race now because they keep winning. So I think that even if they thought maybe we would trade Ohtani, now there's no chance.
Listen, Zach. Zach just said, Orioles guy, good stats. The guy has his OPS. Go look at his OPS. It's like, it's 1.0818 or something. OPS like that in AAA is fucking insane.
Are you doing any football, basketball for like investing, or it's all baseball? Because I know you're the Bowman King.
Listen, I think for football right now, it's sneaky. Go buy some Russell Wilsons.
Dude,
He's got Sean Payton.
Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson.
Yes. Why are
even Deshaun's starting to go up? Russell Wilson, people don't understand.
Russell Wilson, like, you
I
can
don't
get
get
his
it.
cards for dirt
You
cheap.
get his cards for dirt cheap.
And he's got Sean Payton. Sean Payton wants to sling that ball 50 times a game.
Yeah.
And he don't have Taysom Hill anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have the Swiss Army knife.
The thing about Sean Payton that people don't understand is he creates easier opportunities for the quarterback. So remember Kamara was so good with Breeze when they had Peyton, and now what is Kamara? He's nothing. I think Russell Wilson is a great play. I haven't bought any, but I think he's a great play.
All right, Chad.
Chad, I just want to point something out here real quick. Coach Tim, who's a regular in my room, love you, Coach Tim. Put me in. I always say, Coach, put me in. I'm ready. I don't think Chad realizes how big what he just said is to people who need to hear it. Kudos to all 3 of you. So there you
Yeah. Open up.
Can we chop this up and maybe like do a reel of
Well, 100% we're going to do
I
that.
have
100%.
2 hours and 42 minutes. We got plenty of content, Chad. I'll send it all to you.
And I want people to see that.
Yeah, that's
I wanna
huge. That's probably going to be the main fucking focus here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People need to talk more. Get it out. I deal with something that I don't talk about, but